Good time zone, Kindred land. How is it going? I knew that'd get a giggle. There we go. So, welcome to our season finale. Episode 6 of season 1. It's been a long, traumatic road. They don't call me Papa Trauma for nothing. It's been a busy, busy period of time, and I think our players are rightfully keeking their pants, as we would say in Scotland. So we will see how things go. It is light on the admin because we took care of some of that off stream. So, a couple of points. First of all, introducing a formal house rule for Iron New York, which is if you're at home and you're not in a stressful situation, you spend that blood point, go do spooky shit. You want to climb on walls, you want to hang from ceilings, you want to be strange rotating head person, go ham. All good. Secondly, this is, funnily enough, a community that goes ham. We don't productivity shame, whether it's low, whether it's high. You put the effort in and it comes back. So please do enjoy the effort levels that people are putting in and have a good time in our community. And lastly, a reminder to the players. Take a moment, take a breath, remember your motivations, remember all the crazy bullshit that you have on your character sheet and in your head, some people more than others. And we will take it slowly to kick off. Quick recap around our two characters. I'm just going to round this up so it's nice and quick. During our period of downtime away from our last session, Clarabelle has been romancing Mercurio, going on a date to the Botanic Gardens, which went slightly wrong when a certain Telreth turned up and decided that lightning was absolutely the best solution to shooting the person you don't like because he's dating your girl, even if she's not your girl. They then took the KO Tel home with Merc to be cured, hopefully, by the doc, because he's had some interesting rolls recently on his blood research around blood bonds. They slept in the storm cellar, and it got a bit intimate, with Clarabelle unable to resist chowing down on our dear Mercurio. Till he was almost drained. But hey, they managed to visit his place, see all of his lovely books and lovely walls, and Clarabelle, understandably, got instantly distracted by the large presence of books. Doc, well, strange things afoot there, and we'll see what happens in this session. But Clarabelle also bargained with the Zemitzi doctor to see about getting Ollie her surgery, and in exchange has accepted the task and burden of an accompanying a lovely doctor named Cass deep underground in the near future to discover an ancient book. Clarabelle, I don't think I've missed any of the highlight reel there.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Okay, there we go. Nathan, let's go through your highlight reel. So you met your daughter, you think. You went and hung out with the Toreador Primogen in an alleyway, discovering that she is a primal top. Is about the only safe phrasing I can put on here. You asked Layla to stop by so you could talk and potentially apologise, and finding out your business got caught on camera and was on display in Elysium on a giant TV, so rightfully you got slapped in the face and you decided to make up for it by just, accepting more blood bonds, because that's the right way to deal with problems, and chowed down on Layla's arm, and in her phrase, since that's what you wanted. Unfortunately, as that was going on, you found out Monica and her might be in cahoots as she leaned over and they bonded you with strange whispered words to a level 3 bond to both of them, with slight variations upon a theme, that night becoming a hurricane of disaster, leaving you really only cognizant of the aftermath as you awake starving in a ruined RV where everything's kind of been trashed, fed on Andrew nearly killing him, and had to rush him to the Zemitzi doctors to get help. And in exchange, you also volunteered to accompany the mission underground to search for a lost book in the near future as payment. Meanwhile, Andrew is receiving the most expert medical care for, how do I put this, anemia in New York City. And I don't think I missed anything out there for you, Nathan?
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Okay. So
you nailed it.
We're going to kick off the session. We're going to start with Clarabelle. Since, Clarabelle, you awake an hour before night falls, thanks to your recent rise in humanity.
Yes. Okay.
You awaken, and everything's just like the normal routine. So what would that first steps of the routine be, Clarabelle, normally?
Well, to get up and start see if Ollie came in to open the shop. If not, she knows she has to get it prepped because Franklin agreed that he would come and watch the shop for the day because she needed Ollie's help.
Yep. Okay, so Ollie has in fact turned up to open the shop. Okay.
So I'll let her know that Franklin's coming to take it over today and that I need her to come with me because we have some things we need to do.
The expression that crosses her face is one of mixed emotions. Both pleasant and also mildly horrified at the same time.
Sir, okay, so she's like, why? Like, you don't have to work today, and you might be able to beat someone with your cane repeatedly until you feel better. Maybe.
She smiles. She seems happy at that mention. But as you're up early, the sun reflecting a nice midsummer to late summer sun glancing off the buildings, etc. Thankfully, indirectly, still a little bit bright to your eyes, but tolerable. There is a knock at the shop door. A thumping, deliberate, not breaking and entering kind, but
I'm not going to go near it because the front of the shop is all glass and I'm pretty sure that would put me in direct sunlight. So I'm going to look at Ollie and ask Ollie to go get the door. I can't.
The very pavement side, you're actually in shadow. So there is enough that the pavement outside, the sidewalk, apologies, Americanisms, the sidewalk is in fact in a shadow.
Okay, well, I'm still going to ask Ollie to please go answer the door, and then I'll stand behind the counter since the counter has a direct view of anybody coming and going, so I'll be able to see them as they come in. If they come in.
So Ollie opens the door, and there is a moment where Ollie goes, oh, fuck. And as you look over, there is a tall, well-dressed man in a black suit with slick-backed black hair and narrow features, with a black parasol over one shoulder.
Okay.
Looking in the door and goes, Ollie, again. May I come in? It is Terrace, who had a conversation with Ollie the other day.
Oh boy, it's Claire just kind of peeking over the counter, goes, the shop's open, anybody can come in.
Thank you.
Of course.
And he carefully collapses his parasol, tucks it under one arm, and steps inside, not quite pushing past Ollie, but definitely moving past as if she didn't really exist. And he just calmly walks over, says, I'm Clarabelle, correct? Yes?
Yes? Who are you?
I'm Terrace.
You're M's friend.
Yes, I am.
Hi.
And a recent acquaintance of your lovely Ollie.
I would say I'm sorry for whatever she did, but you don't have to live with her.
You can see him take a moment to process that information and goes, I can see how that would be true.
Like, she says it with, like, the most straightest face that she could actually muster, but just waking up, she's still trying to get the straight face on. But she's like, I would say, like, I'm sorry, but you don't have to live with her. So.
Yeah.
So, why
Are
you
you...
here?
And before I answer that, Terrace, are you doing your usual thing every morning of just making sure the auras are there and you've got your aura vision up and running?
I'm scared to say
I'm
yes, but
asking.
it's a routine, so yes. It's up every
Okay,
morning.
perception plus empathy, difficulty 8, and that rolling, Ben. You know you love it. You know those dice are your best friend ever.
You said what now? You said perception and empathy?
Yes.
Oh, God. And difficulty what?
Difficulty 8.
Oh, boy. Haha! 2!
Fantastic. You can just make out the auras today. I mean, thin, wavering, you're just not quite focused. Perhaps it's the early morning surprise visit for you, or early evening
Or the
surprise
fact I'm
visit in
seeing
this
the
case.
sun for the first time in my life.
I mean, yeah, the searing eyeball pain is a factor, one would say.
Okay.
But yeah, you can just about get the edges of auras. And as you're looking at Terrace, all you see is silver veins and vines. And between them, squeezing out, is a shimmering, scintillating wave of obsidian black.
What was obsidian black? The other two I know. I don't know obsidian black by heart.
Well, the only thing that you above game would...
That's what
Do
I'm
you want it
asking.
above game or do you want it?
Above game. What is
Okay.
it for me?
Above game, obsidian black would be indicative of diablerie.
Okay. I know in game she doesn't know. She's starting to piece together what the other two mean, but she hasn't put together what. Okay, thank you.
Yes. And the silver veins are the familiar ones from previous experiences with third and the little card that tried to spike you.
Okay.
But it's very faint in your vision. But you know that's because you're not necessarily perceiving with depth. But he says, I'm here specifically because I want to talk about our mutual friend.
She just like inhales, just okay. And do you want me to send Ollie away or?
I have no idea how close your relationship is, so it's entirely up to you.
I would trust.
Do you share your romantic life with?
Yeah, no, Ollie, get out.
Ollie looks at you with a really raised eyebrow and reluctantly leaves. Yeah, in that sort of... There's a certain amount of gravitational drag being applied by emotions as Ollie makes her way out, somewhat like a sullen teenager, but eventually manages to leave, leaving you and Terrace alone in the shop.
Well, other than the hyena that's downstairs, but yeah.
Or yes, yeah.
Just her, okay. So, like, once Ollie's gone, she goes, okay, go ahead.
So, I just want to make something clear. I am very supportive of Mercurial finding someone that fills him with what I can only perceive as an unholy level of glee. However, I would like to say there is somewhat of an age gap between you, and should you ever find yourself disadvantaged by that, and Mercurio's tendencies towards not understanding that giving someone the literal crown jewels from an ancient kingdom could be considered love bombing, then please do feel free to, ask for some help or support. He can be a bit intense.
So confused. Like, the more he's talking, the more, like, her head, like, tilts kind of like, I guess, like a cat or a dog that's really confused. And just kind of like, huh?
Oh, sorry, I will try and take this down a notch. If he starts being a bit over the top, feel free to ask for some help, and I will have a word with him and tell him to calm it down a
over
smidgen.
the top? Like, she
Oh,
looks genuinely confused. Like, this isn't over the top? Stalking? Throwing gifts left and right? Dragging me around?
I mean, it's starting to get close, but he hasn't gifted you a penthouse or anything, has he?
No.
Well, that's an improvement. A big improvement, actually. I mean, 100 years ago, he tried to give away the Flatiron building. That was a bit
Like,
embarrassing.
she's sitting there, she's trying to think. She goes, no. Hold on. She's like trying to think of like every gift he's given at this point. Just, cards, a book, gardens, his place. Yeah, no.
Hold on, he's not given you anything. Like anything, big, grand, or intense.
No. I mean, the most weirdest thing is we spent a date together. That's it.
Do you have a chair? I need to sit down.
Yeah. She kind of like points at the tarot table behind her. It's like,
Yeah,
over here. Yeah, sure.
he just sort of gently spins a chair and sits down, looking really concerned.
This is her.
No gifts, like no cars, no. I don't know, an entire football team, nothing like that.
No, she kind of like reaches on the hook like by the door that goes downstairs where like her bag is. And she pulls out the tarot deck that he gave, or the handmade deck, and then the book of Nod, and she puts them down. She goes, "This is all I've been given."
I mean, the book's lovely, bit of a work of fiction, really, but the cards, that's quite funny because I was the one that shot him.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was not a little bullet. He said it was a little bullet. That is not a little bullet. I don't think he understands the term little.
I think that's something you and he should keep between yourself.
No, you said She just takes her hat, like covers her face, like shaking her head because now she's got to get used to the fact that it's very easy to fluster him. Or fluster her. So she's trying to hide. She goes, no, but that's it. Other than that, no, there hasn't been.
Oh my God, he might actually care about you. Oh, I feel dizzy.
Like takes a step back a little bit. She goes, really? Me. Okay. This is,
not to be insulting, I don't get it either. No, this isn't a joke.
This is a funny joke.
No. It seems my friend has, in fact, as the children say, caught the feelings.
What's that mean?
I believe it means he likes you, genuinely and emotionally.
Oh, I like him too.
Well, that's very good, because if you didn't, I would have probably had to chop off your head, but you seem quite nice. I wouldn't want to do that.
Well, damn, you didn't have to go to 0 to 100 that fast. Fuck.
No, I'm sorry, it's who I am. But, yes.
You need a, Lexapro or something.
What is this Lexi Pro? Is she professional? Is she quite good at what she does? Who is Lexi?
Lexapro. It's a medicine. Never mind.
Pharmaceuticals. No, not something I indulge in. Anyway.
She just slides her glasses off her nose just to pinch the bridge of her nose, going, Okay, I can see why you two are friends.
Yes. I try and keep him safe from his own excesses, but apparently this one he's genuinely likes you. Such a strange concept. How is the finance guy working out for you?
I don't have a finance guy.
The one that Dago sent round.
Nope, never got him.
Huh. And he's not staying in the hotel round the corner.
Okay, Tyrus, I don't lie. If I'm saying I've never seen him or never heard of him, you can take that straight to the grave and back again. I've never met this guy. I've never seen him. I've asked Dago 3 times about him and have been ignored all 3 times. I don't have finance guy.
That's not acceptable. That will be remedied later this evening. Can I put them in contact with your incredibly charming Ollie?
You can call her a bitch. That's exactly what she is. Yes.
Oh, thank heavens. I didn't want to insult you, yes. Can I put him in new finance guy in contact with the bitch?
Yes. I call her a bitch all the time.
I really do like her. I respect her chutzpah and grit, and quite frankly, her very valid opinions. However, she is a bit of a bitch.
Oh no, she's definitely a bitch. But, honestly, if you got buttered up on everything you did right, you would never improve. So I like keeping her around for the simple fact that she doesn't sugarcoat it. She tells you exactly how it is, whether you like to hear it that way or not. And it makes you remember it, because whoever wants to be told off?
Oh, God. I just had a horrible realization. She's your Mercurial.
I'm not gonna ask. No. Yeah, nah. I don't know, y'all's. Okay, I've only heard your name like twice. One is you like occult things, and the other is you shot
That's true.
Mercurial.
Well, I'm also I'm going to put this in Disney terms, the vizier type person in charge of the city for the prince. I deal with the administrative things.
Your grandpa. You're who Dago said. I don't remember the word.
I'm sorry, what?
The grandpa. I don't remember the word. I'm still learning words. Don't get mad at me. But you're like
I'm just shocked.
Why?
I've never been called a grandpa before.
Okay, but if you made the clan and then you made Dago's mom, and then Dago's mom made her, and then she adopted me, that means you're great grandpa. You're not even grandpa, you're great grandpa. Because
I never thought I would say this as a kindred. I suddenly feel very old.
She just shrugs at him. I'm trying to put it in terms that I understand.
I mean, that's very valid and very sensible of you. But yes, consider me to be the second to the prince, as it were. I won't go into details with fancy names.
You, for the love of all that is unholy and holy both, tell me what a prince is? Because nobody is telling me that. And that was the girl upstairs. What the fuck? I don't even know any of this. Yeah, her. She seemed very sweet.
Yes. So the prince is the one who decides the laws and who lives and who dies. Although we have a much better system of laws than simple execution, of course. There's, it's somewhat more democratic, fair trials and such, and or at least compared to the rest of
it seems very easy to be manipulative and kind of sucks. She just kind of shrugs very slightly.
To be fair, you're not wrong, but you are also blessedly have never experienced something we call the Camarilla or Camarilla, depending on where you're from. Really?
Yes.
Oh, where?
Europe. They kidnapped me from a Tremere chantry in Spain, tried to recondition my brain, almost shattered it a little bit. Then the Inquisition came in and flooded Europe, and now I'm here. Ta-da!
So, yes, at least we're not them. It is really And importantly, things can change here. The influence of individuals actually matters, whereas in the Camarilla, the influence of
Well, see, neither
power.
one is good because the Camarilla, you have a bunch of old folks who don't fucking understand that they need to go get staked and walk out into the sun. And here you got a bunch of spoiled teenagers who's been given mommy and daddy's blood and money and told to go ham.
Yes, but still, it's much safer than it was. We take the little wins we can in creating the steps towards utopia.
Okay, with all due respect here, and for the risk of sounding like Ollie, are you stupid?
No.
Are you sure? Because everything here screams so many red flags that I don't think you understand that people as far as Houston, that's where I came from, actively plot and plan on ways to take it down because of how big red flag it is, because things change too fast. Like, it went from, okay, this might be something cool, this might be something good, because it might be something that really will benefit Kindred a whole lot better, to something that is neon stripper sign club, you know, gentleman's club sign pointing down going, big red flag. Perfection cannot exist. I don't think people realize that. Because if in order to have perfection, you have to have chaos. In order to have chaos, you have to have perfection. So the more perfect you make something, the more fuck-ups you're inviting in. And she just kind of like gives a smile, just, and yeah. And you can be powerful, you can have all the money in the world and magic in the world and probably guns and werewolves and everything else, but there's always something bigger and better that you don't know about that will rip your ass. Like, you had an entire Tremere Chantry filled of some of the most powerful Tremere there are in Europe get wiped out because one girl decided to have a tantrum. It done. And not everybody plays by the nice. And she kind of like gestures slightly, like she's gesturing at him, but it's kind of like she's gesturing in general, like not him, but his idea of what he thinks going on. That won't give two flying fucks about your whole thing going here. And won't care for your rules. And while you may hold up to your rules, and other people that you love and cherish and that you've put in charge may hold up to those rules, there will always be someone who gives you the middle finger to your rules and will do everything against it. And then, I mean, now you got to dictate whether or not, if your person broke them, are they held responsible too? Utopia can't exist.
See, that, well, yes, but we can take steps. But more importantly, you broach a very interesting subject. And one of the other reasons why I'm here. I would love to invite you to Conventuses. We're having a trial this evening over someone who has been a little bit naughty.
She's like pointing at her chest, like she doesn't say it, but it's very clearly she's going, me?
No, not you.
No, like, you're fighting me, huh?
Yes, we invite most of the practicing heads of the clans, and right now, Mercurio is officially on holiday, which makes you the most senior Malkavian here.
Me?
I am not exactly, yes, you're a bit new, but you are technically the most senior Malkavian around right now. Yes.
She's just like gesturing, like.
Uh-huh.
Okay. What? Okay, you're gonna have to explain this to me like you're trying to explain a newborn child. What?
So, each of the clans has a representative that attends.
Supposed to be Malkavians.
Well, he's technically on holiday, and yes, Adego is very much a stickler for the rules, and Mercurio is what we like to refer to as not giving a flying fuck.
That's why I like him.
Unfortunately. Yes, I can tell you're very similar in that regard. But yeah, since he is otherwise engaged,
Mhm.
it falls to you to represent the interests of the Malkavian.
This is the
And I would let you.
worst idea ever. I can't even represent my own interests properly. That's why I have people like Ollie and all of them around. But I don't feel like I have a choice in this, do I?
Oh no, you absolutely do have a choice. You can choose to participate in Conventus, or you can choose not to.
Me?
Yes, you. Everyone gets a voice. Everyone contributes to society. The prince has the final decision and is the final arbiter, but you get to speak to that decision-making process. Currently, I think you might have a unique perspective.
When do I have to, like, be there?
In about an hour and a half.
Oh, okay, that kind of puts my plans weirdly. How long will this take?
Oh, I should imagine it'll be about half an hour. It depends on well, everybody's opinion. I mean, Kinley is quite a gentle soul, and the person in question might do all right. But on the other hand, if she's having a day,
Okay, then yeah, sure. I will get dressed. I'll get cadaver dressed. And we'll sure. Sure. Yeah.
good, fantastic. In which case, I will bid you good day. I wish I could still drink. Dear Lord, Mercurio. Anyway, I
Yeah.
will leave you. Yes, you had a
She like
finger
puts a
up.
finger up as if she was gonna say something, then she goes, "Never mind."
No. I encourage free speech.
Does the gesture he does always presents?
Sorry, what was that?
Like the grand gestures you say, are they always presents?
Usually, yes. Yes, physical things or places, or on one occasion, from what I understand, although this is before my time, it was an entire small fleet of ships.
She like kind of like raises a finger like she's gonna say something, but she doesn't know how to word this. She goes, "How close are you two?"
It's complicated.
Okay, never mind.
I mean, if somebody hurt him, I would execute them and their entire connections to anything in existence and burn them to ashes and salt the earth. But at the same time, I would quite likely punch Mercurio in the face because,
Shoot him in
frankly, he probably deserves it.
Between you and me, then? Only us.
If you wish me to keep a secret, absolutely,
Yes.
I can.
Yes. Should I be concerned he's trying to ask for marriage?
2 seconds, I need to make a roll.
Oh,
Hooray! One success! There is a moment. There is a moment where Terrace wobbles.
She just kind of like reaches out, like just in case he falls, she has him. Just
when you say proposes,
I don't think necessarily it was a proposal. I think he was talking about it.
okay. If Terrace wasn't ice cold and currently a kindred form of air conditioning in your shop, he would possibly be red in the face. Make a perception plus empathy roll, please, at difficulty 9.
I'm sorry, the way. Oh my god. Alright, I'm using a willpower for this one because this was funny as shit. You said 9?
Yep.
I need 1 success for this one. Oh, okay, yeah, 1.
Well, he does in fact appear to have been severely disturbed by this information on a fundamental level. You can't tell in what way, but...
Is everything okay? Did I say something wrong?
Oh, no, not wrong. I just never thought the two M words would ever meet.
The what?
You know, Mercurial marriage.
Oh. Maybe I'm wrong. And she pulls out her phone and she scrolls back to the texts and she goes, okay, oh god, he said best friend. Look, and she's showing him the phone and slowly scrolling the messages so that he could read am I wrong?
Yeah. He looks incredibly flustered and says, I don't think I've ever heard of a Justicar proposing to someone who is very fresh off the boat.
Why does everybody keep saying
that? Well, possibly because you didn't seem to understand what you were until a month ago, although I have to say, you're doing remarkably well, actually. It's very impressive.
Sure, we'll go with that.
I mean, you're still functioning is probably the best way to put that.
Sure.
But
she's just slightly nodding.
You actually see a tiny bead of blood sweat appear on the side of Terrace's head, where it instantly freezes and falls off like a tiny icicle.
Sir, are you okay?
Yes, I am very surprised by this news. I think you're very nice. I don't know you well enough to know whether that you will be good for him or not, but for Mercurio to have made such overtures, he must surely see something quite spectacular in you. And the fact that he hasn't bought you anything is mildly terrifying. But still, that's good news. And he smiles, and you can tell this is someone who isn't used to smiling and is attempting to construct one on demand.
Sir, you don't have to do that. I'd rather you just keep looking stoic instead of creeping me out.
Oh, thank you. It's very much appreciated.
Yeah.
Wait.
She's about stuttering about as much as he is. Just. Okay.
Is there any, I mean, do you need? Yes. It definitely is. I never thought my best friend wouldn't tell me he'd fallen in love with someone. The fucking asshole.
He fell in love, and she seems so squeaky out of nowhere.
Well, he proposed to you. I'm assuming he fell in love with you.
I mean, I've seen people marry for love.
True, but he doesn't have to.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he turned down the Queen of Spain 3 times.
What am I getting myself into?
Oh, mortal danger or immortal danger, really nice holidays, and almost certainly being the target of anyone who considers him a danger or threat. However, on the flip side of the coin, in theory, you'll be married to the Justicar of Malkav, who's one of the most senior figures in the infrastructure of the Camarilla.
So, yeah.
So, yeah.
So, you said an hour and a half, right? That I have to be there.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
That's an Elysium, right? That's like up on that like weird third floor with the big buff lady and the naked lady in her lap and everything. Yeah, okay. I'm
sorry, the what? Well, hold on. What naked lady?
I don't know. It was some naked lady in the big buff lady's lap. Janet's lap.
Oh, jeez. You leave them alone for a couple of weeks. Oh, dear.
Do you see why I call you Grandpa now? Like, you walk in, everybody starts listening, but you vanish, and everybody starts throwing house parties.
I am getting a distinct impression.
That or your dad.
Anyway.
I'm gonna start calling you Dad. You're the dad. You're the dad in New York.
This has been one of the strangest conversations I have ever had in my life, and I know Mercurio.
You're welcome.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get dressed, and then I'll meet you at
ready.
Elysium.
Absolutely. And he just sort of stands up, shakes his head like he's trying to wake up from a horrifying dream.
It's not a dream, you're wide
gently
awake.
Walks outside.
Bye, Dad.
However, make a perception plus, I'm trying to get this right, awareness roll.
Perception and
difficulty.
awareness?
Yes, difficulty 7, please.
Isn't awareness the supernatural stuff?
Yep.
Does it have anything to do with like my occult stuff? That would be awesome.
Yes, it does.
Hey, Lamau. You said perception and awareness.
Yes.
And difficulty what now?
7.
Motherfucker, bro. There's no like ghost or anything involved, is it? Because I get 2 off my difficulty.
In which case it's difficulty 5.
Ha! I got 2 successes.
Fantastic. As he is walking away, you notice that on his back is a sheathed katana, a black scabbard that you hadn't noticed before, which is unusual because you would have thought you would have noticed it. But as he is turned and is walking away, the raw, horrifying power of whatever ghost is trapped inside that sword is like a burst of incredibly loud static in your mind. It is truly, profoundly terrifying. Whatever is in there is whatever is in there is angry, is trapped, is desperate to get out, and is more evil than you've ever felt in your entire existence.
Damn, that says a lot. I thought my sire was evil.
No, this would make your sire look like buttered popcorn on a summer's day.
Huh. No wonder you're always looking angry. Anywho, bye, Dad! She just waves.
Terrace leaves and climbs in a limo. What you do notice, though, is he is perfectly comfortable in the indirect sunlight outside. However, unlike you, who has a bit of a pulse now, and blushing skin, blood flow, is very human, he is still a freezing cold, ice-like, monstrous sort of vibe. He is definitely deep within the kindred side of existence, so quite how he survived indirect sunlight is interesting, because you certainly wouldn't have when you've been in that sort of direction.
Well, it's just her looking all sad, like, I can't walk in this.
Well, indirect sunlight.
She doesn't
anyway.
care. She's right.
Yeah.
Anywho.
That's a prick. Good job.
That's a prick. She's gonna text Ollie, say she's got to go get dressed. And ask Ollie to help her get dressed.
Okay, Ollie will help you dress.
Because
And we're
there's
gonna cut
no-
across.
Have fun.
We're gonna cut across to Nathan. Nathan, how are you?
Hello.
So, you have had your day sleep has gone the way it usually goes. You settled down for the day, and a relatively peaceful slumber takes hold of you, and you expect to wake the next evening after the sun has set. While you are asleep, you can almost feel the day sleep shift slightly. I would like you to make a perception plus alertness roll at difficulty 9, please.
Oh. A perception?
Perception plus alertness roll, difficulty
Okay.
9.
I have a discerning specialty. Does that?
Nope.
Okay. I had to ask. Just checking.
Yep, nope. Perfectly reasonable. Yep.
All right. Perception and awareness.
Alertness.
Alertness. Shit. Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Alertness. My bad. Doing it now. Dice roll. 4. Oh, I only got a 4. Okay. I really need to get alertness. Can I use willpower?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'm gonna use 1 willpower. To success.
Okay.
1 willpower.
You start to stir. Make a
Okay.
humanity roll, difficulty 8.
Shit. Okay. Ooh, bud. Shoot. 6. Difficulty 8. 5 success.
Holy shit.
Of all the times it could have did that, 5 success.
Yeah, so, when waking from the day sleep, you have to roll humanity to see how long you can act for. In the event someone rolls 5 or more successes, you're actually allowed to be awake for an entire scene, though your dice pools are limited to your humanity, in this case 6 obviously, and also you are sluggish and a bit out of it. You
Almost like
awake.
hungover.
Oh yeah, like
Okay.
oh, I didn't sleep well, what's going on? You awaken feeling like you are being carried. There is the sound of glasses clattering and tables being scraped along floors, the sound of a vacuum and a floor washing machine. There's a gurgle of water. There's a sensation of like rising, as it's almost like there's steps, and you are wrapped in a thick layer of canvas.
Crap.
And you
Okay.
feel your arms are tied to your sides with some form of restraint.
Okay.
But you are awake.
Well, I mean, there's not much I can do. I guess I'm stuck.
Are you resigning yourself to your current position?
Well, I could try to break out.
That is true. You could speak, you
probably-
could try and break out, you could do all sorts of things. What
What's
would you like
going
to try?
on? I guess.
Are you saying that?
I guess he speaks out. What's happening? Where am I?
And a
He
soft,
could be anywhere.
gentle, feminine voice says,
Uh-oh.
"Don't worry, just relax, and we'll have you settled in very shortly." And it comes from right next to you, but over where you're being carried, and you realize that the arms that are carrying you are small and slim, but they are carrying you like effortlessly.
Do I recognize the voice?
I don't believe you do.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't think you have met this person.
Oh, all right.
And do you sort of stay awake but quiet and gentle and don't try and break free, or?
Something tells me I really shouldn't try to break free. I guess I'm just gonna have to wait and see what happens.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm walking out of this one. Oh, god dang.
Well, after
I think I know who the trial's for.
After about 5 minutes, there's the sound of a elevator dinging, and you feel yourself descending. Strangely, not what you'd expected. And very soon you feel you're in a cold dip. And you are gently placed on a concrete floor. You can smell concrete and moisture. And you are gently unwrapped. And above you is an angelic figure with white hair, pretty face, but in this case wearing kind of lumberjacky t-shirt thing, the plaid and jeans, and just sort of smiling and saying, "It's okay, your trial's soon, but you just need to stay here." And she physically picks you up with no effort whatsoever. It's the most intimidating experience. And she gently lays you on a large concrete slab that's raised in the middle of the room. And carefully ties you down. And as you lie there, you very quickly see something above your head.
Oh, God.
It looks like a piece of newspaper. And I'm going to pop it in the... is dice rolls visible to chat? I'm going to pop it in dice rolls. So if it's visible to chat, then great. But feel free to have a quick read, Nathan, while you are pinned in place. And I will read back to the audience. It's a newspaper. It's a terrible, terrible rag that reports on UFOs and strange sightings and is native to New York. And the title reads, "Blood-filled sex robs rock Brooklyn. Sources close to this newspaper have disclosed an increase in illicit activity on the streets of Brooklyn. The infection of loose morals from Manhattan and their up-and-coming kink scene has spread to beloved tourist spots on the essential waterfront RV parks. Videos of the encounter between two prostitutes and a homeless war veteran located on the usual streaming services appear to show a man soliciting a woman and her companion into performing lewd acts on a public bench in the park. Before the footage was removed due to legal action, this writer was able to view it several times for research purposes. It's clear that the homeless man attacked the women in some way, leaving bite wounds and bloodstains. This is becoming a pattern as earlier in the week, several businesses reported similar acts on sex workers in alleyways that was described as a man who looked like he had been just let out of the burn ward. When contacting the commissioner's office in person at their monthly union meeting, this reporter was given this quote, "Look, Harry, there's no serial offender out there. Sure, it's not okay to be doing these things in public, and there is a health concern, but in no way can this be construed as a failure of the last 4 years of support service focus. We have almost no one without some form of permanent residence in NYC, healthcare for all, and crime rates are still at a record low. What we are seeing is some people realizing the streets are safe at night and taking things out of the bedroom that clearly need to stay inside." This reporter was then escorted from the union meeting by force. one can only hope that the police are taking this seriously. And you have a sudden recollection of why this has maybe happened.
Yep. I sure do. Inner monologue above character. I sure do.
So, some time passes. You are alone for about an hour and a half before some people start arriving. First to arrive is Kinley, once more, this time wearing a very fancy dress, entirely in white. Second is Katya. Third is the sheriff, just squeezing in the door with a somewhat petite-looking woman wearing very little, crawling on a leash. And then is a familiar face in purpley blue. Face is there, looking enraged. And behind him, Clarabelle, how are you dressed?
Really nicely dressed up, actually. I'm wearing the outfit Franklin's sister made me.
Very regal, very formal,
Looking very
appropriate
nice.
for the occasion.
Yup.
Is Cadaver with you?
Yes! Cadaver's with me! On my leash.
And there's a large hyena. Which, frankly, Janet has been eyeballing, like, not in a threatening way at all, but in a sort of like, I'm gonna go pet that thing later. But, yes. As well, Layla arrives, and Monica. And a very, very severe-looking gentleman wearing glasses, and a very studious look about him you've never met before. And there are concrete benches lining the walls where everybody, one by one, takes a seat, not all together, but distributed around, some closer to each other. Layla sits next to Janet. Monica sits opposite from Layla. Face sits as close as possible to you, and do you turn and look at him?
I do.
He frowns at you mightily, but he clearly mouths the words, "I've got you." And eventually, no more people arrive. And the door is closed, and the prince sort of coughs gently. So we've been forced to be here today, deal with a matter of discipline and protecting mortals and kindred kind from being put in danger from the masquerade being broken. There is good evidence that young Nathan here has committed some serious breaches with his behavior. And unfortunately, due to his insistence on not disguising himself sufficiently, it has started to attract unwanted attention. You will find next to you a little file with the news article in question. We have made sure that the footage is not online. What we found very interesting, and she turns and fixes Monica with a beady eye, is that we were the ones who made the footage vanish. It's very interesting how the footage is no longer there, and there is no copy anywhere, except the one that you placed on the screen in Elysium, Monica. And Monica does the face of, who, me? Nathan.
Yes.
What do you have to say in your defense? Firstly, about your failure to maintain a more incognito presence. And secondly, about the events that have subsequently caught the attention of, thankfully disreputable, but nonetheless, public reporting.
There were neglects of my own, and a mindful disposition should have been carried out. I didn't. I wasn't expecting this. Okay, this is a big surprise for me, as I'm not able to say. Talk about above character. I'm not able to talk about stuff.
Yeah,
so like
correct.
he's naturally like trying to come up with the words and stammering over it.
Yeah.
You know, so like
Kinley interrupts and says, "You've clearly decided to take ownership of your mistake, your errors in judgment, which I'm very pleased to hear. There's not many who wouldn't rail, writhe, and scream at being found in this position. You have been calm, you've been respectful, and you have admitted that you should have done better. We have heard other things, but these are the most exigent problems. So, as we are somewhat democratic, while this is not a jury of your peers, it is a chance for the community to be represented and to speak their piece about what they expect your fate to be. We are very zero tolerance here of failures to protect secrets. But it is the will of Conventus that rules. The prince is there to enforce that will and make sure it happens, even if we sometimes disagree. And we do have the final call, but it is with respect to Conventus's will. So I will ask those here, in each in turn, to provide their feedback. And you may speak to them, and they may speak to you, and we'll see what your fate will be. She turns and speaks to the really stern-looking gentleman who came in looking very scholarly with glasses and slick-backed hair. Dear Primogen of the Tzimisce, would you care to speak? I believe you had something urgent in mind. And he stands up and says, "Yes, this gentleman is currently under bond to the Tzimisce for a boon, and we would therefore advocate that he have no execution, be formally reprimanded, and be put on notice, so that he may complete his owed work for the clan." And he nods, sits down. She then turns to Clarabelle and says, "My dear, I understand you're quite new at this, but there is a place here for everyone's voice, and currently you are the most, or the only, noted Malkavian of senior seniority around, and that makes you the voice of your clan for now. What would you like to contribute to this discussion?
Okay. Fuck. Above game. Motherfucker. Okay. She just kind of like she doesn't stand. She stays sitting down. She goes, punish him, but it's very clear from the start of how you started this. He isn't the only one that should be punished. So I feel like this whole thing's moot point. It should be redone with both parties. Especially since one of the charges being brought up against him involves a second. She openly looks towards Monica. She don't care about the repercussions of it. As she goes, so I would say let him go and redo it properly.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
She then turns to Janet and says, Sheriff, you hear her slip and almost say Janet and switch to saying Sheriff. And Janet stands up and says, I think that he has not broken our cardinal rules. He hasn't truly exposed anything, and with a firm lesson, he could be released. I think the Malkavian Primogen here is and she looks quizzically at Clarabelle to see if that's the right term.
I'm just a
And
Malkavian dude.
The most senior Malkavian here seems to be on the same page, and I share her resentment for how this has come about. And she fixes Monica with a glare. Then Leela. I think he should be warned and released on his own recognizance. And as the Keeper of Elysium, I could take him under my wing and make sure he doesn't commit any more offences. To which Kinley responds, and what do you mean by wing, exactly? Oh, I could place him under a mild blood bond, and that way he would have to obey the rules, because I would tell him to obey the rules.
The way Claire gives a nasty look, and she makes it like she's not talking, but her face definitely has subtitles.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Of.
Oh no, I get you.
Really?
Nathan's quiet this whole time. Again, he can't say anything negative to the part. So
No, she's gonna take her glasses off. She goes, but the Keeper of Elysium is supposed to remain neutral. From every understanding I have, putting him under you now takes you out of it. So who's taking your place?
I think he could be educated to be neutral and help enforce the rules of Elysium.
I don't think you're understanding, Layla. The rule are you to remain neutral. If you take someone under you and blood bond them, it is no longer neutral by the literal Kindred definition. And the shy mouse is gone, everything's gone. She's actually legitimately showing her intelligence on Kindred matter. So by doing this, who would you put in your place?
Well,
genuine question, if I can talk.
I think we could see that a Dago could take a certain stance around here to be a bit more proactive.
No, she's way too emotional. She cannot be neutral. I am living proof of that. She did not know me, instantly took me under her hand and everything else. She'd be the worst Keeper of Elysium.
Oh, do you have someone in mind then?
Not you. You've already proven right here, right now, in front of everybody that you're willing to actually forsaking that, which now puts a lot of questioning, well, and at least on my mind, on you. And that seems to throw up a lot of questions, you know, when a Malkavian sees a red flag, when usually they're crimson themselves.
There are some interesting considered smiles around the room. That comment.
And a
And there
blood
was
bond
silence.
doesn't necessarily seem like something very consenting, does it? Especially when it's, say, die, get punished, or take a blood bond. So wouldn't that completely disregard the number one rule of Iron New York?
And Kinley smiles and says, "See? Some people understand, don't they, Layla?" And Layla looks quite disgruntled.
Don't take what I'm doing as what she's doing in character. I'm fucking sweating, bro.
I can imagine why, yes.
Claire's like stoic as shit. I'm over here like, shut the fuck up, bitch. Oh, shit.
Yeah. And Kinley turns at last to Face. And Face stands and says, "I have tried convincing the young man to behave appropriately and to be better. And I, similarly to others, would like to talk at some length about the influence of a certain individual. However, we are here about him and his actions, and it is clear he is responsible for some of his own choices, despite others' insistences, and he deserves a punishment. But he owes the Zemitzi, and therefore, we, as the Nosferatu, cannot be seen to be owing to anyone. We will not be beholden to anyone. So I will take his punishment in his stead, and he will learn, perhaps,
No.
from the suffering of others."
Don't think
And
he will.
No. What?
and then
Claire's never been in one of these before, so she's gonna talk to us. I don't think so.
Yeah,
If he's been
oh.
using and abusing my help and seems to give little regard to how it is affecting me and my goals. So I don't think that's a thing either. Make him suffer. Take away the thing that he seems to value the most, which seems to be the little boy toy he keeps carrying around. Hand him over to who he owes.
That's an interesting concept, says Kinley. And then she turns to Monica.
Oh god, Monica.
Monica stands, and you can both make willpower rolls, please. In Clarabelle's case, the difficulty is 8. In Nathan's case, the difficulty is 10.
I don't like this hope.
One success for Nathan.
Okay.
No, watch.
So, Clark, in that moment, you're like, I really fucking hate. Oh, she's quite nice. Look at those. Oh. There is a moment where you feel your brain take a hard right turn down Appreciation Alleyway. There's no overt command. There's no specifics, but there is very much a sudden, she might be evil, but I feel weirdly that I kind of like her right now.
So, I physically go from feeling one way to another, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's like you look at her and then suddenly you're looking at her with new eyes.
I'm gonna voice it. Be like, okay, so this isn't the first time this has happened, Monica, but I've looked at you, felt absolute disgust, and then suddenly I feel very in love with you. So what are you doing? Like, what is this that you're doing to get people?
I'm just so attractive. I can't help it.
No, you're
It's
not. You seem like a narcissistic person.
Toreadors. And Monica smiles at you.
No.
And goes, oh, such terrible insults. Terrible insults flung in a matter of law.
I grew up with a narcissist. I know how you act. You might be pretty and your smile might be charming, but you're still sending up red flags. And this is the second time it's happened, and I've been able to look at you indirectly and never be affected. And if that's the case, then it would have the same effect that Layla has on me, where I would like to kiss her feet every once in a while. So what are you doing? Is that some weird power that I don't know about?
Layla turns and looks at you at the kissing feet comment. It's just like
Jesus Christ, Claire.
I'm just like what?
Well, I mean, you're pretty. Let's all be real here. I might think you're a dummy and that you're not neutral and you're hiding something, but you're fucking gorgeous. Your friend over here reminds me of my sire.
Yeah, so there is a moment of confusion in the room, which is not unexpected when a Malkavian is
She's
part.
still looking at her like she's like lovey-dovey, but she's voicing her opinion. Like, this is a red flag to her, and she was told if it happened again to voice it, so she's voicing it.
Yep. Kinley turns to Monica and says, Monica, if you're doing what I think you're doing, and you make me look, I will rip your legs off your body. And Kinley is smiling the entire time, because my job is to protect people, and you're not being very fair. And I know it's not going to amount to anything, but you're still pissing me off. So please stop, or I'll go get my dad's hatchet down from my apartment, and I will take it to your body myself. And the fact that Kinley is wearing this white dress and like really proper and like very Disney princess kind of almost vibe, but much more modern. And Nathan, you're the only one that's seen her in her lumberjack plaid shirt and jeans. Inside your head, Nathan, you're like, she definitely has an axe. 100% she has an axe up there.
Noted.
As you saw the scratch marks on her outfit, you're like, oh no, girl's dangerous. But Monica goes, oh, I'd just like to be admired.
That's not very consensual now, is it?
I'm not taking away your will, I'm just showing you how pretty I am.
No. Taking away my ability to actually feel genuine about you and force implanting different emotions to make me want to swoon over you is overpowering my mental state. Therefore, you're influencing me no different than a drug or anything else would be. If I was under the influence of drugs and you tried to have sex with me and I said no, but you did it anyways because I was under an influence, would it still be considered non-consensual?
And then you see Clarabelle, Kinley's grin. Oh, actually, I tell you what, can you please make me a courage? Yeah, can you make me a courage roll at difficulty 8, please?
Is it regarding any type of fear?
Oh no, this isn't fear. Okay. It's beyond that.
Okay, you said courage. Fuck. Alright, here we go. Difficulty what now?
Nathan, you can't see. Difficulty 8.
Claire, you need to shut the
I can't see? Okay.
No, as in you can't see behind your own, you can't tilt your head back enough to see what's going on, so you don't have to make the roll.
Well, fail. Yes, I'm terrified, but I spoke my mind, goddammit.
Yeah. When she smiles this time, you feel that is a smile that ends things in the most compassionate, caring for the good of all kind of way, but the kind of person who would guillotine their own mother if they were on the wrong side of the law. And it reaches down into you and gives you a certain sense of
shut the fuck up,
inevitable doom. Yeah. And Monica, you see, visibly gulps. And Kinley says, well, Monica, it looks like the stalemate might be broken if Clarabelle chooses to vote at the next Conventus and we get to update the laws. The tie might be broken. Interesting, Monica. And she smiles at Monica like, I am fucking coming for you.
Oh man, I just put a fucking
And Monica
title on it.
does. Smidgen, would you like to make an intelligence plus politics roll at difficulty 6 for me, please, Clarabelle? And Nathan, could you make an intelligence plus politics roll at difficulty 6 as well for me, please?
Okay. Holy hell. Cheese and rice, dude.
Oh,
Damn.
Claire is
Is
really
Claire a
fucking
lawyer?
bad.
Claire needs to be a lawyer.
No,
Like,
no.
intelligence plus politics.
So I'm playing it this way because Claire is really, 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 thanks to her sire, used to very manipulative, narcissistic, has to be the center of attention, trying to get around the rules without directly breaking the rules type person. And she can't stand it, so she calls it out. Oh, she
God,
can't
am I
fucking
glad
stand it.
you came to the party. Like,
Let's see those intelligence plus politics rolls, people. Difficulty
I'm
6.
Oh,
so
shit.
scared. I'm trying.
All right.
Hey, get out of here. Get out.
6.
Oh shit, I got 3. Okay.
3 success! Hey!
Oh, Nathan.
3!
Jesus!
Let's go!
Okay.
She shouldn't even have to roll afterwards. I'm just sorry. Like,
The dice gods have apparently decided that even though you're an occult or an investigative specialist in computers, that, you know what, apparently politics is your jam. So in that moment, you guys realize that you have both, to a certain degree here, probably being used by Monica in a political move, and that move may have just done what one can describe as a gigantic U-turn into her face. Specifically around the modification of the Iron Laws. And both of you can get easily the sense that these laws are amended through, effectively, the Primogen, or as it's termed under Conventus, the Philosophers. The most able and senior of their clan to discuss and vote on. Therefore, the presence of, shall we say, the right number of people can allow the laws to be amended in ways that the Toreador are not going to enjoy. And unfortunately for Clarabelle, she's currently the casting vote in that.
Right.
And Clarabelle can clearly pick up that you are the casting vote. And furthermore, because you both scored 3, I'm going to tell you who is clearly upset by the consent laws being updated. Okay?
Yeah.
Monica, the sheriff, the Zemitzi. No, not everybody. Those 3 very clearly were on one side of that vote.
Wait, does that mean it was 3 and 3 and now Claire's here? There's a tie?
You're the tiebreaker.
Oh, fuck!
It all rests on your head, potentially, if you ever make it to vote in Elysium. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, there's a target on
And
my
it
head,
only
boy.
works. Yeah, it's Mercurio. You're pretty sure Mercurio well enough that he would have stayed the fuck out of Dodge.
Yep.
On
That
discussions.
explains
Yeah.
the quote-unquote business trip he suddenly had to go on.
Would it? I have no idea what you're talking about. No, he is completely unaware of such things and is busy elsewhere. In the meantime, Kinley comes down from her somewhat concrete throne and gently touches Nathan's face. And there is a clear moment where she is doing something. Clarabelle, would you make a perception plus empathy roll, please, for your aura sight to update what it is currently sitting at?
I'm sorry, one more time?
Perception plus empathy, difficulty 8.
Okay. And what about my aura sight? Because I still ain't turned that hoe off.
No, that we're updating how many levels of success you have because it's a
Okay.
different scene. So
Two successes.
okay, same as it was. Right. So as you are sat there, you can kind of see a telltale kind of shimmer around Kinley that she's doing something.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's like you've seen other people when they're using disciplines. It's
Okay.
not magic. It's just power of some kind. And she touches Nathan's face, and then she closes her eyes. And a moment or two later, she opens them again and says, "We cannot trust one voice to speak the truth. So while I know what has happened and transpired, I cannot speak it, because we do not believe in kings in this place. One person swearing it is the truth is not sufficient to doom or forgive. So while I believe I know what has transpired, I cannot be relied upon alone to achieve a judgment, in case one day I choose to look the other way, or punish those who are undeserving. I will not be a prince like other princes, but I would urge you to consider the words," and there's a pause, "of our wise Malkavian. But there is a punishment. Nathan here has clearly not taken seriously the hiding of his identity, of hiding in the shadows or appropriately disguising himself to protect the secrets of this city. Face, you have agreed to take his punishment, and you cannot retract that. You've sworn that in open judgment. So please, come forward." Face steps forward, and Kinley, with one hand, simply breaks the bindings that are on Nathan, literally snaps them off with one hand, freeing Nathan to rise.
He rises. He rises up, looking around at Face.
Face looks at Nathan, really pissed off, and says, "Go sit down."
Why are you okay?
And he places his arm across the giant slab.
Oh no.
And Kinley looks him in the eyes and says, "Thank you for doing this, and I'm sure we will find a way forward together." And with a single brutal motion, her right hand descends like a blade and shears his arm from his body. And it quickly withers and perishes on the concrete slab. Face doesn't move, he doesn't make a sound. And in that moment, Kinley steps in and holds him gently, then lets him go and take his seat once more, pulling his clothes over the injured socket. She turns to the gathered people and says, "Judgment has been made, punishment has been doled out, but this is not the end of this. I expect that all of us will be having conversations amongst our other obligations in Elysium. about the potential need to change our laws to make it more clear, dear friends, on what is acceptable behavior with our own kind and mortals. And she stands once more and then proceeds out the room. Clarabelle and Nathan, can you make perception plus empathy rolls, please? Difficulty 9.
That shit happen. I'm sorry. One more time?
Perception and empathy, difficulty 9.
Okay.
One success.
Okay.
One success.
You can both pick up that Kinley is clearly pissed off. Like, not necessarily at anyone in particular, but really, really annoyed at the whole situation that's arisen. And someone's probably going to get a telling. But after she leaves, everybody sort of, I wouldn't say relaxes, but there is a shuffling that starts to be, people are figuring out who's going to leave the room first.
Shit, I'll get up and leave. I don't want to be there. I'll take Cadaver and leave.
Okay. That's fine. You easily make your way to an elevator that takes you up to the normal floor of Elysium, far away from the drama below. Shortly after you, a couple of others leave. Nathan, as you go to leave, Face and Layla are by the door. Which one are you following?
Well, I start to go to Face.
Okay.
I start to go to Face. So.
Okay. Would you like to spend a willpower to be able to go to Face?
Yes.
Okay. Spend that willpower, please.
Okay.
As you breeze past Layla, there is a moment where she almost looks triumphant, and then as you walk past her to Face, she looks concerned. And Face ushers you away into the elevator to rise back up to Elysium proper on the 3rd floor.
Yeah, I'm going with him.
Yeah.
The guy who literally just gave his damn arm for me. Definitely going with him.
Okay. And you're both now free in Elysium proper to pursue whatever your next steps are.
You're more than welcome to go first if you want, Nate.
No, you can go. You can go. I need to think of something real quick because I have an idea, but I just want to make sure I do it right. So you can go first, and then I'll go. Unless you don't want to go first, and then I'll go.
No,
In
that's
which
fine.
case
I can go.
Okay. I'm just looking at something.
Yeah, you
trying to
just
get
had
something
a
correct.
moment, my guy. It's okay. Go take a breath. No, so all right, Mr. Storyteller. I'm going to go with my aspects and look up into the, what is it? I forgot the word for it, but like up where she had first met 3 and see if she can find him. Or find her. See if she can see her.
So you're going down to the 1st floor of Elysium again.
Yeah, she's going all the way back down. She's trying to find, or actually the 2nd floor.
Oh yeah, because you can still sort of look around from up there, yeah. Okay,
she doesn't want to take behind it down with a bunch of humans. Freak them out.
I mean, freak them out and really fucking impress them, to be fair. It's kind of like, the fuck is that? We've got real life Harley Quinn kind of situation going on. Exactly. All the fanboys for miles. Anyway, you can make a perception plus, in this case, I think, awareness. or investigation, whichever is better for you.
What difficulty?
And difficulty.
With aspects.
Yeah, no, that's where difficulty is only 5. No, hold on, sorry. Doing maths. 4, apologies, because your default, you've been using your auspex for your vision anyway, which drops the difficulty by 2. So there you go, difficulty 4.
3 successes.
Nice. Yep, she's right over there, clinging to a wall, like a right weirdo. Sort of one hand over the wall that stops people falling off the second floor.
Mm-hmm.
She's just sort of got one hand over it, her freakishly long limbs. She's just leaning out, looking down, her long hair hanging down, that little weird halo still around her head, and you could easily walk around the perimeter of the second floor and get to her.
Then I will, but I'll keep it as if I'm just casually walking, and I'll get as close as I can to her before leaning onto the rail. Just trying to get her attention to know that I am there. And I'll keep Cadaver as close as possible.
So you see her turn and see you. There's a moment where you both lock eyes. You know people can't see her.
Yep.
But she can see you, and then she clambers up, and the position she takes in front of you is like, it's very Grudge Gargoyle. She's got her feet tucked under the banister of the wall so she can't fall backwards. Her knees are practically up beside your head, and her arms resting like down against the railing, and her head right in front of yours. Her sparkly clear eyes sort of staring at you at point blank range, knowing that no one else can see her, and now you can hear each other talk over the noise of the club below.
So she doesn't talk directly to 3. She knows that's 3's job over there. So instead, she kind of like pats the railing to get Cadaver to jump up, you know, like getting a dog or a cat up on a counter.
Yeah,
and she'll like
which easily does and is terrifyingly tall.
And she's like scratching like the back of like between his shoulder blades, like where the really long quill-like fur is. And she goes, "So, Cadaver, you want to go on a walk? I think we found a rule breaker, and if that's the case, I think it would be really, really wise to get them to confess to it. I'm thinking we should go find our little friend. What do you think?" And it's clear she's talking directly to 3, not Cadaver.
Yeah. Her face leans in terrifyingly close. And the joy of your particular outlook on life is you think this is cute.
It is
and
cute.
Delightful. Anyone else would be making courage rolls. Lots of them.
Cute.
And she leans in with the silver webs and threads that you still see that leap into the pits of her eyes. And she says, "Stop and fight, find and fight. Go a walk this little night."
Can you say that without the singing, just so I can hear it?
Alright, so I kind of improv the shit out of that, so give me 2 things. So it's basically stab and bite, let's go for a walk tonight.
Okay, see, that's what I thought, but I was making sure I heard it right. So she just kind of looks at Cadaver, and she gives him slight little, like, pinch between his shoulders, you know, kind of make him get like he's a little rowdy, and she goes, okay, come on, we'll go for a walk. Jesus. Taking forever. And she like pulls the dog down, and then she'll go out the same entrance that she came in, as if she's trying to lead 3 away from Elysium so she can talk.
Okay. And 3rd clearly follows you. And the reason you can tell this is the fact that you can hear her footsteps right fucking behind you, in your own footsteps. You're not that big a person. There is no way your footsteps sound that loud. And you're like, if I wasn't into this would be creepy as shit.
But I like
But
creepy
yeah,
things, so it works.
exactly. You lead her outside.
Well, I'm gonna go. The walk is towards the river, as if I always go. It seems like it's a safe
Okay.
place to talk. And once I get close to the river,
Yep.
I'll keep it as if I'm talking to Cadaver, just so I don't get like
Okay.
anybody's like attention. Because if there are other kindred, I don't want to put them onto the fact that there's a fucking rod following me. And she just looks down at Cadaver, not really too much look down. The fucking thing's almost her size. And she starts like scratching behind his ear again as they're walking, and she goes, "So, isn't it weird that your whole life you forget everything that happens when you black out, but suddenly you start remembering bits and pieces? Only certain bits and pieces, though, almost like someone put those in your head. And it made you do something that you would never do, that you've never done before, completely against your will, and then get upset when they try to fix it? Why would they be upset, you know?" Keeping it vague, very vague. But she's hinting at her and Telrith. Like, at this point,
Yeah.
she knows that 3 knows, but 3 hasn't done anything. And she's slowly voicing her opinion if something doesn't seem right. Because I've had these episodes my entire life. I've never done
Yep.
anything against anybody's will. Suddenly I have, and I can remember it this time. It's almost as if I wasn't in the state that I thought I was in, and that I was made to do it. And then the whole thing with Monica now happening twice is kind of cemented in her head that she feels like somebody had done something to make her do it, and she doesn't like that.
Yeah. Third kind of does the same thing that she did last time, where she clambers up to the point where she's behind you, that sort of leaning over you from behind, her head next to your ear. Cadaver seems blissfully peaceful about this whole situation. Like, he's chill around you anyway. He has zero issues with Third whatsoever for some reason. He
That's not
clearly
normal.
can't see her. Yep, he clearly can't
Okay.
see her at all. But you can tell there's a vibe. It's a kind of vibe of, I don't know, whatever.
He trusts
Which is odd.
her, which is good.
Yeah. And especially considering right now she looks like she's about to eat you, kind of. But
Yep.
And from in your ear you hear, "Naughty man knows how blood works. They can't blood bond people. They know
No.
how it works. They
Mhm.
have rituals.
I didn't know that.
I think he should die. I think he should die."
I don't have proof, though. It's all just internal. And she looks down at Cadaver and she goes, "Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm right, boy? Or do you think I'm just overthinking again?"
Rods don't care. We like the tip. And there is a moment where you hear sanity creep into her voice, a deadly, serious tone, when she says, "Keep it secret.
Who, what?
We can keep it secret. Only feed from rule breakers.
Oh,
We can only feed from rule breakers. Give him to me."
she's walking with Cadaver. You can hear 3, and it's for a split second she stops and she's like looking out at the castle, right? And she goes,
Mm-hmm.
I want to get him to admit it first.
Ah.
But if he admits it and you're with me, then you get to eat, right?
Yep. Yeah.
He can't see you, right? Okay. And she looks out at the castle, and then it's like this something inside her clicks, right? And she goes,
Mhm.
okay, then a secret for a secret. You don't see what I show you, and I don't see what you do to him regardless of what he says. Right? You said secret. Secret for secret?
Best friend.
The smile she gets, it's like, it's not that normal sweet smile she has. It's almost like a soft, kind of sadistic smile. She goes, huh, okay. I'm going to go get Olivia, and I'm going to go get the car, and we're going to take a nice drive. You like drives, right, Cadaver? And get in the back and have fun? And she pulls out her phone and she calls Ollie, and she goes, hey, girly pop, I need a ride to the doc's house. I have to go check on our little experiment. Can you pick me up? I'm over by, and she kind of like
Insert
looks at,
address here.
huh?
Insert address here.
Yeah, inserts address here. And she goes, I will be there. Cadaver can come. I'm going to bring Cadaver this time. And I'm going to sit in the back with him. Go for a ride.
Okay. Gonna pause there. Nathan.
Yo, yeah. So he's with Face, and
Yes.
he follows him. Where do they go again? Real
Up
quick.
to 3rd floor Elysium.
Okay. I can, about character, imagine that it's not growing back. But I do have those silver coins, and for what it's worth, I can at least provide nourishment for him to try and see heal.
He above game. You remember he has plenty because there's like a whole forest full of it.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay, we're on the 3rd floor. Where did we go? I'm quietly
it's
following
the-
him because it's like I'm
He-
kind of scared to speak at them.
Yeah, he leads you out to the sort of palatial, full block sized not cushions, the conversation pits where there's the sort of Chesterfield sofa lined and the koi ponds in the middle. And he leads you to one and awkwardly pulls all of the blinds and curtains and drapes around it so that it's steeped in a half light and shadows, and sits down looking really tired.
Okay.
And
Why did you take
gestures
that?
for you to sit. I took that because we are the Nosferatu. We do not owe debts. We are not the criminals. We are not the police. We are a network that keeps information flowing across Kindred society, and I am trying to build a home here, and being seen to let someone perish for youthful misadventures, however justified, would give people the wrong impression. I am a leader that leads from the front. and it is my responsibility for your behavior. So I'm telling you, you will start wearing a fucking disguise, even if it's bandages, even if it's a ski mask, even if it's a Bill Clinton rubber mask printed in 1999. I don't really care. But you will wear a disguise from here on out. Of some kind. Please. Or simply walk in shadows and be fucking good at it.
That's understood.
But, like I say, I am not here to berate you more. You have learned your lesson, I hope. And I can tell there is something going on, and you are going to help me find out what.
I'm
So
all ears.
what can you tell me, Nathan? Speak.
You ever... Okay, Layla, I think... He's amazing.
I lost what you were saying there. Sorry, Nathan.
He kind of looks at... He looks at Face and he just kind of... He's trying to think of how to kind of like get his point across without breaking the binding.
Yep.
You know? So he just kind of looks at him and... You ever think Layla's just like... really kind and sweet?
Yes, I do. She's very nice, isn't she, Nathan?
Oh. Almost as if she shines.
And you would... Oh, you just feel like you'd do anything for her, wouldn't you? She's just so amazing and beautiful, right?
Thought about going with her whenever I came with you.
And as he watches, you pop a fang boner, I'm assuming.
He's definitely got that kind of like...
Yeah. The awkward wrinkle of the gums.
This is the best way I can think of to come up with trying to get
Go
right
for it.
now.
Yeah.
But no, what's going on right here? Him just kind of like glowing over Layla.
And Face goes, okay, so if I asked you to slap Layla in the face...
Why would I do that?
Right, okay. If I told you to slap Layla in the face...
I'd probably slap myself.
Huh.
He's not even like cracking a smile. He's looking at him dead serious, like...
And if I
None of us
asked
have done
you... If I asked you to take a high-caliber sniper rifle downtown, opposite the Galleria, take up position, shoot Monica as she walked out the front, what would you do?
Miss?
Good boy. And this is the first time you've actually seen Face smile genuinely.
What?
Well, my boy, I think we finally found your skill set.
Oh. He's clearly still thinking about Layla and Monica. He's... wait, skill set? Huh?
Yeah, yes. And he reaches inside his jacket and pulls out a small device he places down and clicks it. And it looks like a baby monitor. But all you hear suddenly is white noise.
Okay.
Over the back, like in this immediate area. He's like, my boy. So, they got to you. Both of them. Together. And you've now figured out how to communicate. Haven't you?
I'm
No, don't focus on what you can't say. Focus on what you can say, like we just practiced.
The
You
addict
would
in me
miss.
is very strong with that.
Right. Well, I'm going to tell you something, and they'll definitely be able to get it out of you. But that's the thing. They
They
think
want it.
that they can do whatever they want with us. That our presence, as much as Terrace has been generous and genuine and kind, his children have been not particularly better in their behaviour when under the influence of the Toreador. And I think there is something that Monica has done
Monica.
that will rock this place to its foundations. I think she has influenced Layla. And just above game, and to pause for a moment, Clarabelle, if you'd like to take the tinfoil off now and the red paper off the walls and the strings and the
I
screaming at the
fucking
camera.
called it. I
Above
fucking
character.
called it.
Above character. Woo!
I fucking I called it. Ollie fucking called it. The doc called it. We all called it. The fucking Camarilla is fucking with Tyrius's fucking kids. All of them, one by one.
Okay.
Because if Tyrius
This
has to
picture
kill
just
his
got
own,
so much bigger.
if Tyrius has to kill his own kids, he's going to run back to the Camarilla because he's going to see everything he did is wrong. Monica's not part of Iron New York. She's still openly Camarilla, one of the very few allowed in the city. And she's fucking with the closest thing to an actual kid Tyrius has.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to break
So Nathan,
the whole Iron New York down.
Nathan,
Sorry.
yeah, there you go.
Yes, Papa.
Right, so Face has clearly explained to you how to communicate. Above game, have you understood the message? Or do you want me to give you an explanation?
No. I got it. Like he,
Okay,
like
fine.
to try and communicate with what, I can't say, but get it across in a different way.
Yes, get it across in a different way. Such as,
Got it.
oh, I would definitely miss if I tried to shoot at Monica with a sniper rifle.
For
Or,
sure.
hey, if Monica asked me to open my veins, I'd say yes, etc. You know, you can dance around the topic. Yeah. Now, you can't say stuff like that, but what you can do is dance around it. Like, I would never say that I am completely under the control of. That's totally a lie. Yeah. You have to sound genuine, but to Face, who now knows, he knows to reverse that logic. Yeah.
That's why
other people would probably just think you're a weirdo.
Oh yeah, I hope they do think I'm a weirdo because I don't want anyone else to really know what's going on at this point because, like, you know what? The weirder the better because the more weirder I am, the more people's going to avoid me. And if more people avoid me, then there's less chance of me revealing certain things but being able to find out other things behind the scenes kind of thing. You know what I mean? I'm in the limelight. I got to get out of it.
So,
if that makes sense.
Yeah. So, Face says, I think you need some distance. And I know you can't. But they can't pull you away from the boons and favors you owe without exposing themselves. You owe who? Who do you owe, Nathan?
I owe the Zemis.
The Zemitzi and...
The Zemitzi, sorry, I pronounced that wrong.
No, it's okay. And...
You.
The Malkavian?
I'm sorry. Yes, the Malkavian.
Yes, she openly spoke about that in court. So
yeah, I do owe her. You're right.
So you have to go and speak to them and do the jobs and make sure you do the jobs well, and oh no, it's I have to just keep doing those jobs. Oh, even though I'm craving, I have to fulfill my obligations, or people will suspect.
A
Do you
distraction.
do you understand, Nathan?
Yeah, find a new vice. I'm gonna get
No,
right. That's gonna be my
I mean,
vice.
workaholicism is definitely an alternative, but what I was more meaning is they can't expose themselves by stopping you doing your job. And your job is to do your boons. And your boons are owed to people who, I am really happy to say, fucking hate Monica.
Really?
Well, I mean, the Zvietsi don't really care as long as they get what they want. But clearly the redhead wants to rip Monica's head off. And to be fair, watching two redheads fight would be entertaining. I think Monica would lose.
I mean, she could wiggle her way around, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm quite sure you've experienced her wiggling enough. I saw the video. I would really rather had not. Yes, everyone. I mean, to be fair, there was some of them that were. I mean, Janet was quite impressed, but that's kind of the way she rolls.
I see that.
So
yeah.
Nathan, what I'm saying is, get your shit together. Do some fucking work. Make that work keep you as far away from them as you can, for as long as you can, and get help from the people you work with. They will, and hell, I'm pretty sure if you say to, in fact, actually, I'm going to solve this, and there is a moment where he reaches out with a hand that isn't there. And he stops and he goes, oh, for fuck's sake. And he carefully folds his right arm into his jacket pocket the wrong way round and eventually fishes out a small notepad and a small charcoal pencil and writes down, Nathan is bonded to Monica, and draws a little love heart specifically, right? And colors it in black with his charcoal pencil, and then carefully takes it, lifts your hat, and gently pops it on the top of your head.
Ooh, did I see it if it was written, or did he just do it?
Oh no, he writes it, and you see the message is, you are blood bonded to her.
Whoa. So, don't forget, those.
And he says, when you go to meet the witch, take your hat off and be respectful.
Yes, sir. His reaction literally was just to call him sir. Yes, sir. Like that.
Thank you, Nathan. Now, my suggestion is, you look about ready to chew the hind leg off of a horse.
I'm hungry.
I suggest you quickly go to one of our lovely little places and get yourself a snack. Okay? And if I see you anywhere near fucking Elysium, I will throw you out the doors myself. Unless you're with, I don't know, a chaperone of some form. I will literally throw you out the doors myself. And if you push me, I will put you out of your misery for your own good. I'm sorry.
I think I'm going to give this place a break for a while. I think it's seen enough of me.
Good shit. You remember, it's focusing on the work. That's your calling. You've got to find all the things. You're a detective. It's what you do. Now, Please, Nathan. Leave and go and eat.
What are we gonna do about your arm?
You.
I owe you for that a lot.
Yes, that's called leadership, and you will owe me. And at some point, I will call that marker in, and you will do something for me that is commensurately dangerous or painful. But for now, go and fucking eat before you bite
Okay.
someone and the swords have to deal with you.
Yeah, I'm definitely going. Yeah, all right. I'm noted. My discombobulated ass is going to get something to eat. I'm sorry, Face. I really.
Then learn, Nathan. Learn. Now get out of here. And he does a joke kick at your ass to get you to move.
He feels guilty as fuck right now. Pardon my language,
Good.
but that's like the descriptiveness of how far that goes. Like he's just like.
Okay.
Not many people would have did that for him, and that means a lot to him. So he's kind of.
What? I
Focused
think you're
hard
going
on
to go. I think you're going to go find one of the spots.
I'm listening to him and going to the spots and getting something, and so I'm not a danger to the society and a menace to the Nos.
No.
Anymore.
Important caveat. How are you traveling?
I am walking through the shadows with my obfuscate and sticking to as many shadows as I can. Now, if I would have my choice, I would have swapped out the Peaky Blinders look for a hoodie and jeans so I could put my hood up, hiding my face a little better.
Well, there's convenient power of the Lost Property Office in the bottom of Elysium. Do you go looking for a spare hoodie?
Yes, please, because I need to hide something in my face, or just anything. Like,
I don't
care if it says
in a Lost Property Office for a venue this size, there is definitely a fucking hoodie. It is luminous pink, and it has, and the writing on it is "Be gay for Jesus."
Okay. I put it on. I'm gonna put it on. Shit, I don't care. I'm not.
Good. Congratulations. Now you're a Nosferatu. I don't fucking care what I'm wearing. Nobody's gonna see me anyway.
At this point,
you're now. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, no more Peaky Blinders. No more bullshit. Let's go. Okay. I'm moving through the shadows with my hood up.
Okay.
To a location that's allows me to get in without being seen. That can be judged as such.
Right. Make a dex plus stealth roll, please.
Okay, let me.
Difficulty 4.
Dexterity 2, stealth 3, 4, 5. All right. Something. Here we go. Dice roll, difficulty pool, dex, stealth 3, 4, 5. All right. At difficulty 4, you said?
Correct, yes.
All right.
It really helps when you're basically invisible.
2 success.
You easily manage to find a location, and you or a couple of locations, because they are scattered around for the amount you need. I assume you're trying to refill yourself to the point that you are not at risk again.
Correct.
So you're going to continue feeding. Now, what is your level of that background of Fields of Plenty?
Fields of Plenty is you was, hold on, where is it? Background. Fields of 5 dots.
5 dots, right. So
yeah, you can
take
5. So.
Yeah. Cool. So you can feed until you are full. However, it takes some few hours to navigate the streets to the various pockets and secreted elements, etc. But
now, I have a side question real quick, and this is about so this vitae that comes out of this stuff that is supposedly filling to Nathan or Nos, as it were. Understandably, it is very clever and very thing, but like, does it feel like actual blood to him, or does it feel like something else? I don't know. Like,
Oh, no, it
because
tastes exactly like you were drinking the blood of a wolf.
okay, just curious. So that's
Yeah.
different. Just trying to think if
Not a
Nathan would be like
werewolf,
weirded
just a
out by
wolf.
that.
Yeah.
Animal blood. That's understandable. Okay, I wanted to ask that question to make sure, like, it wasn't making him
Yeah.
feel some type of way.
No, perfectly reasonable to check, especially given you're literally tanking the ever-loving shit out of it right now.
Yeah, I know, and I'm hoping I'm not, like, pissing anybody off, and make sure that other people get a chance to get to the carts and shit. I'm not going to be like completely greedy.
Good. And that's
So-
what takes the time, is spreading your feeding out in the deep,
Gotcha.
dark underground. So, I'm going to cut back across to Clarabelle while you're busy feeding.
Yep.
Clarabelle.
Yeah.
Ollie turns up in the car,
I'm
looking
looking
slightly confused.
Mister, why are you looking confused? I said we were going out
I
tonight.
thought you were busy.
Did
Yeah,
you take? Did you bring your cane? Like I told you to bring your cane. Did you bring your cane?
Yeah, she holds up her handbag with it in,
Okay.
or her bag
Do
bag
you
thing.
have all your little, religious stuff? Your fingers, your necklaces. You have
She
all that,
she
right?
holds up both hands, which basically looks like a jewelry store fell over on her.
Good
Yes.
girl. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah, we're gonna go visit the doc. And yeah, I'm gonna get in the back with Cadaver. So I'm gonna pop down your tailgate. I'm gonna get him in. I'm gonna get in, and don't question the weight on the back of the truck. Okay. And she just kind of like goes around the back, opens the tailgate, hops in, but she sits down in a way where she pats her lap. But it's not meant for Cadaver. Cadaver's already got his head there. It's more of trying to get three, like, hey, hop in, or at least
Okay.
really closely keep up.
So this is in the bed of the truck, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So third climbs on, but very quickly just sort of scampers spider-like up onto the roof of the cab where there's the roof rack bars, and she slides her feet under the back ones and holds onto the front ones with her legs and arms really akimbo, and just looks back at you and goes very quietly, I like to fly.
I bet you do. I should try that sometimes. And she like hits the back, like knocks on the back window, like a little
Yeah.
to Ollie and goes, okay, go on.
And Ollie looks at you, and you can tell Ollie is having a bad vibe moment. You know why she's having it right now. She doesn't.
It's just her. It's okay. I promise. It's just spirit stuff. It's good. I promise.
Okay. And then she drives. Where's she driving to? Specifically, just the doc's place, yeah?
Yeah, where Tell is and where the dock is.
Yes.
Where her.
So I think that was about half an hour drive.
From Elysium, it is a 27-minute drive, and then from her shop, it is 44 minutes.
So call it even half hour. I think that's perfectly reasonable. Half hour later, Ollie pulls up. It has been a blissfully cool summer's night. And as you've driven there, you have watched Third's hair stream in the wind like a fucking scary ass thing. And she's clearly delighted. Like in the creepiest way, like I can fly.
She's having
kind of vibe.
Got it.
Yes, yeah. And it looks like this. It also looks like she's done this more than once. This is practiced hands at traveling.
So she'll get out. She'll bring Cadaver. And she just looks at Ollie and she goes, okay, Ollie, I need you to listen to me very carefully and we don't judge, right?
And Ollie looks at you slightly more worried and goes, uh-huh.
Okay, so I need you with every fiber of your being, no matter what I say next, you go along with it. No matter how you feel about it, okay?
She looks really confused at you, but eventually reluctantly nods.
Promise.
I pinky promise.
Okay.
Ah.
She's gonna go inside. Now she's gonna hand the other ghoul, Azrael, since he's always there, the leash to Cadaver, and ask him to take Cadaver down. Actually, was the storm shelter ever cleaned out, Azrael?
Azrael goes, eventually, we've ran out of bleach.
Yeah, so we're not
But
gonna
yeah,
put him
it's
down
clean.
there. Take him upstairs in Ollie's room and sit with him, please.
Ollie is like,
It's either
but yeah.
it's either that, or he gets very bonded to Mercurio really fast because of all the stuff that was left down there. So do you want him friendly with the one guy you don't like?
Ollie shrugs and looks away. But yes, Azrael, he takes Cadaver away to Ollie's room.
Man, her nerves are getting the best of her, but she just takes a deep breath and she goes, okay, downstairs. And she'll go down into the basement with Doc and Tal, hopefully.
Well, as you head down into the basement, you can hear the Doc snoring.
He's sleepy. Okay.
Yeah. And you get. Is Ollie coming with you?
Yes, Ollie's supposed to be coming with her. Yes.
And is the house guest supposed to be coming with you as well?
Yes.
Yes.
Staying hidden.
Okay.
Hidden house guest.
Yeah. Okay. I get you. Third gets you too. It's you can see because you can see. This is getting really, really awkward for third in the rooms, trying to navigate, not bump into things, and Ollie and dodging. She's doing a remarkably good job, but it's kind of like watching the world's most dangerous ballet that's going to have a really terrible ending. But she manages. She manages.
The way she just,
and
like,
then
she
you
looks
get
back at Ollie. She goes, "Remind me to actually get this house cleaned up. It's
yeah,
dirty." But anywho,
a mess.
downstairs.
Yeah. So downstairs, but yeah, Doc is snoring away, and as you get to the bottom of the stairs, there is a relatively motionless Telrith, and the Doc on one of his little chairs, the sort of pop-out leg, comfy chair, recliner things, and he's making loud snoring noises.
Okay. I'm assuming he's all covered up in a sleep. He's tired.
Yeah, he has a blankie. Yeah.
She's going to go check the Doc's notes to see if he actually managed to some degree, and hopefully, since he's had 4 fucking days, reverse the blood bond on Tell since he's been tied down the entire time.
Okay. You check the Doc's notes, and weirdly to you, the Doc's desk is incredibly tidy.
Yeah, that's
like
really
it's all been
weird.
cleaned up and put away, and everything's neat and tidy. And then you hear a sort of well from behind you, and the Doc goes, "Oh, hello,
Yeah.
hello, dear. How are you?
Are you okay?
Yeah, yes. You woke me up. I was sleeping.
I'm sorry. Did you manage to help our little friend here?
Yes, good news. Good news.
Okay.
He's all better.
Okay. Then will you step out of the room for a bit? I'm going to go ahead and wake him up. I'm gonna take him home.
Sure. He's a bit thirsty, so you're going to need the bags in the fridge.
Okay, yeah, I'll get that to him first then.
Okay. Otherwise, he probably won't wake up. And then he topples away nice and gently. Make a perception plus empathy. Perception plus empathy roll for your aura vision, please.
She's so confused. He's like, "Wait, you can't do that."
It's difficulty 8.
You said perception and what?
Empathy. It's your standard aura roll, so it's perception
Okay.
plus empathy, I believe. Difficulty 8.
1 success.
You're watching his aura as he walks away, and it's tricky because he's so fucking old, and he's been a ghoul for so fucking long. His aura isn't exactly the most substantial to begin with, but it looks like, oh, is he maybe not long for this world? Is he like actually fading? Like, that aura looks a bit thin.
And she looks at Ollie. Remind me to feed him more later.
And Ollie goes, okay.
Anywho.
And Telrith lies there, currently in effectively torpor, because he ran out of blood.
She's gonna go get one of the blood bags that, she would eat out of.
Yeah.
And he might not like it, but he's gonna eat it. So she, like, pair of scissors, takes, like, the tip off.
Yeah.
And just slowly will pour the whole thing, like, into his mouth. Like, enough for him to be able to actually, like, get a blood point or so back.
Yeah. Eventually, he sort of gurgles awake, gulping, and you hear, more.
I got you. And she's, as many as she needs to, she'll keep feeding.
Okay. It takes about an hour to string feed him enough blood bags to the point he's not
dying.
Just not immediately gonna frenzy. Not just gonna immediately frenzy, basically. But yeah, an hour or so later, and he is fed enough that he is compos mentis. I mean, his face is like covered in blood to a certain degree at this point because there's only so non-messy you can be with blood bags, etc. And he goes, Why am I tied up?
You want the long story or the short story?
I think the short story, please, Clarabelle.
Well, you were blood bonded. I was wrong and I did it against your will, and I'm very sorry. But I did find a way to fix it so you're not blood bonded anymore. But in order to do so, we had to tie you down and do a lot of things to you. And I'm really sorry, but it's fixed, and I'm sorry, I should never have done that.
There's no cure for blood bonds.
You're right.
And that's when he looks at you. He looks at you and goes, wait, I don't feel it anymore.
I told you, I've never lied.
You have a cure for blood bond.
Had a cure. And she sighs. She goes, I have to take you back to the castle, and I have to tell the deacon what I did. If I don't, the rods are gonna find out I'm gonna die anyways.
We could run away. We could go and hide somewhere. We could.
No, I'm so tired of running. And who knows, maybe if I admit what I did wrong, the punishment won't be as bad. But I did it against your will. I remember the visions. I know I did it, and I'm so sorry. As she genuinely looks like she's sorry, to the point where she is making herself like slightly cry, and she goes, I've never done that before, and I don't know why I did it, and I'm so sorry. That wasn't right. That wasn't right. I'm so sorry. I have to tell. I can't break the rules and get away with it.
Can you make a perception plus empathy roll for me, please?
God damn it! Here we go again. These are gonna be all my.
This isn't for your aura. It's not even for your aura reading at this point.
Yeah, I'm sitting on the edge of my seat right now listening.
What is the difficulty?
The difficulty is 6.
3 successes.
Oh no! Oh no! Okay, so when he is like going, oh, we could run away, etc., and when you say that it's your fault, you've now been around. You've refreshed your narcissism radar, shall we say? recently, you get the distinct feeling he is avoiding the subject and turning things around and moving things in a very guilty manner.
Mm-hmm. Just the way she just looks, she goes, I'm going to undo you. I'm going to take you back to the castle. I'm going to tell the deacon what I did, okay? And you're safe now, so now you won't get hurt because it was against your will.
Okay, sure, yep. Yeah, we can go back to the castle. The castle's a really safe place.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I forgive you. I mean, we've been in a complex kind of situation, and it was a complex thing when you got hurt, obviously, and you didn't know what else to do. And
But see, that's the thing. It wasn't. I know that wasn't the first time I've gotten hurt. I don't know why I did it this time, though. Like, I've never done it. I've gone to you before. You've told me this. Why? I'm really sorry, okay?
It's I forgive you. We should let's just go to the castle. We can go to the castle. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to. I've also.
Oh my god! I shot that guy.
What?
I shot that guy with lightning.
Yeah, Mercurio, you shot him with lightning.
I'm sorry, who?
Mercurio.
Okay, can we definitely go to the castle now?
Yeah.
He's not upstairs, is he? He's not upstairs, right?
Why?
I mean, he's like just a car and shit. He's not like not upstairs, is he? Just sort of waiting for me to come out and.
The way she looks, she goes, not upstairs, but yes, he's waiting. I've already confessed to him too what I did.
Oh, cool.
She just kind of like, actually, you know what? Yeah, can I just straight read his aura?
Yep. Perception plus empathy.
Here we go again.
You love these rolls.
It's the same fucking rolls. What difficulty?
It is difficulty 8 because you're reading his aura.
Okay. Yeah, this one I'll use willpower on.
Okay.
2 successes.
I would suggest that's wise. 2. So I'm going to make sure I've completely got this correct here. Before chat's going, that's not quite how the rules work.
Ligma.
I want to make sure I get it. Ligma nuts.
Yeah.
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 So the main color of his aura at this moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to find the appropriate emotion. Is luminous fucking orange.
Bright orange. Okie dokie. Ooh, she's gonna look. She goes, okay. Look. I'm sorry. Look, yeah, we'll go. Give me a second. I'm going to text Mercurio and just tell him what we're doing, okay? That way he knows because he said he wanted to be there for it.
Oh yeah, awesome.
Are you okay? You're acting very weird. Are you still bonded?
No, you just keep mentioning he fucking Justicar of the Camarilla.
Yes, I would. You kind of, stabbed him in the middle of our date. With lightning.
Uh-huh. That's why I'm nervous.
Why? You were under a blood bond. It's completely against your will. You're fine, or else you would have been dead by now.
Yeah, but he might not feel that generous given I shot him with lightning.
He was generous enough to let me take you.
Oh, really? Okay. Maybe Justicars aren't as terrifying as I thought.
No, he's terrifying, and I almost got stabbed for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we should go to the castle. Definitely go to the castle.
She kind of tilts her head just slightly, and she goes, "Okay, yeah. I'll text him. Ollie, let him go." And she goes off, and she pretends like she's texting someone. She doesn't actually text anyone.
Okay. I thought not. Yes. Oh man. Yeah. So Tell does pretty well on his courage roll. So you untie him. He sort of seems to get himself together a bit and just sort of stands there going, okay.
I text him. Sorry. I promised I would update everything. Yeah. Ollie, will you go get the car ready, please?
Ollie looks at you weird, but yeah, she heads upstairs and disappears out of sight.
And she just turns and she looks at Tell. She goes, "Okay. One last time, what happened that night?" I need to make sure I tell the story right.
I mean, and he retells the story pretty much the same way.
Mm-hmm.
My brain is fluffy on the details right now. I'm going to be perfectly honest.
You're good.
All right, but he retells it much the same way. But you can make a contested roll. Yours is perception plus empathy.
God.
His, I mean, it is what it is.
No, you're good.
You can have wits. You can always have wits if you want. And he is going to roll as well. You're both on difficulty 6. And he does not have any willpower to spend.
You said I could do wits instead?
You can do wits. So perception is figuring out the clues, sort of picking up on the tics and attitude. Wits is more like a gut feeling, as opposed to knowing that you know what I mean. It's more of a vibe than anything else.
Well, I would rather do that. Because this is all gut feeling anyways. And what is the difficulty?
6. Because it's contested rolls, you're both rolling difficulty 6.
3!
Oh. Yeah. You just the way the way he retells it, there is too much detail. You're a professional gaslighter. You lead a cult. You know that bad liars add too much detail in. He is being too descriptive. He remembers the color of the shoes you were wearing. He remembers the temperature of the night. He remembers it was like not just raining, but it was sploppy rain, like big blobby things. He is remembering too much detail for it to be a genuine memory.
Okay, we can do this. So with a straight face look, she goes, "But it wasn't raining that night, according to the weather app." And yes, she's completely twisting the story and gaslighting him back.
Okay, make a manipulation plus subterfuge roll.
And this is my motherfucking specialty, bitch!
So you get to class it as being a speciality.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty 6, because it is a contested roll.
5 successes.
Oy. Oh, he did really well, but clearly not enough. So he is like, but no, I remember the rain. I mean, it definitely rained, but maybe it started raining while we were in the car, or.
But you didn't say we were in a car. You said I met you underneath the bridge.
Yeah, but there was a car. I'm sure there was a car.
No, there was Ollie's truck where I hid my clothes, though.
Make another manipulation plus subterfuge roll as you gaslight the shit out of this poor man. I say poor man, he is guilty as fuck. Yeah, exactly.
Still 6, you say?
Yep, because it's contested. Oh, that's
2 successes.
He didn't do well. All right. So what were you convincing him of? That there wasn't a car and that
there
there
wasn't
was...
a car, that they did it under the that they did their little thingy under the bridge, and that the clothes were in a truck, not a car.
And he's like, but I was sure... Eventually, after about 5 minutes of back and forth, that I'm not going to get into detail on because that's dull as anything. Right? You eventually convince him that it was in fact under the bridge, that it wasn't raining, that it was dry, but he looks really confused about this. Like, he's like, wait, no? It might be the fact that he's terrifyingly weak from blood loss, has no willpower left, basically, to do anything but shamble, etc. But you appear to have convinced him that his memory is not as accurate as he thinks.
This is her. Like, so she kind of tilts her head. She goes, wait. You asked me to bite you. Why would you ask me that? I know I was feeding from you because I was low on blood points. Or I was low on hunger. I remember, because I had to heal myself. I remember that. I remember seeing the gunshot wounds healed. I remember biting you from your wrist, that I kissed up your arm, bit in your neck, but you whispered for me to bite you back. Like, for you to... Hold up. Why? 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 And she just kind of looks at him. She goes, why? Like, I know drinking your blood won't bond me, but why would you want to bite me?
And make a final roll. Because you've pretty much got him. I mean, it is just, can you make him say it? Is the key here. It's difficulty 6.
Well, that's my last one I'm using for the night. 2 successes.
Oh, so he doesn't say anything really to that. He's just like, I got caught up in the. I think we both got caught up in the kiss and the intensity that it gave us, and things happened, and you by this point have established that I don't fucking believe you. He's given you plenty of signals. You're just not quite able to crack the nut.
So she just kind of looks at him. She goes, okay, so instead of the castle, we'll go by Elysium. And the roses, they can use memory. They can help me figure it out. That way, if it was just what this is, then both of us are okay. No one's going to get hurt. No one's going to get harmed. And then we're fine. I don't, get staked because I broke a rule. And you're okay. You're safe. So why don't we do that?
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, we'll go do that. And then it's good because then the rods are there and the rods can read.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Are you sure? This isn't like freaking you out
Yeah.
or anything, right?
I mean, I'm a little freaked out. I got tied to a table for a week by a mad
I
doctor.
have one better. Mercurio can actually reach into your mind and read, so we'll be able to do it. I'll let him use mine, and then you can let him do it, right?
Sure. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna call him. Are you cool with that?
Okay. Yeah.
This time she actively calls him, and she heads up the stairs, leaving 3 alone with Telrith downstairs for a moment.
2 seconds. Have you made it clear that 3 is allowed to do whatever the fuck she wants?
As long as he confesses. She wants it to get out of him first. That way she cannot be held accountable for it.
You disappear up the stairs.
Depends if 3 feels like that's a confession enough.
So you disappear up the stairs and close the cellar door or the basement door, correct?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I would like you to make a courage roll for the house. For all of the people in the house. For me, please.
Oh,
For
shit,
what is about to happen.
Poor Tel got fucked. I already know it. But it's been established that she was fucked over. Okay, do I need to pull up? No, because Ollie's outside in the car.
No, just I think we can assume for generally the household full of mortals, their courage is probably only 3.
Okay.
That's pretty normal for normal people.
Okay, so I'm one.
And the difficulty is 10 because what's about to happen is very scary.
Do I need to make one? Because no fear at all?
No, you won't need to
okay,
make
so
one at all.
I auto pass. Got it. We'll do
Yeah,
theirs.
this is for everyone else.
So, Doc and Azrael are the only ones inside the house, right? And, well, of
Yeah,
course, the
but
hyena.
Ollie's probably going to hear. And the hyena. It's just
Okay.
roll 3 dice and we'll see what the average is out.
Somebody botched.
Okay. Oh, that's just in general. The household has botched. So,
okay, so everybody's fucking terrified. Got it.
So I'll describe what happens next as you're upstairs actually phoning. The call doesn't go through.
Okay.
The next thing you hear
She
is
figured.
the most soul-shattering scream and the sound of a body hitting concrete and the wet crunching noises of bone and gurgling, sobbing cries that you don't think could be made by a human throat. They're just so strange. And it goes on for several minutes until everything is quiet. Now, currently, as you're stood there and you're like, oh, that's a lot, you watch as Azrael sprints through the house, looking terrified, runs out the front door and into the street.
Oh, great.
Looking fucking scared, and the doc comes shuffling out from behind the staircase with his eyes saucer wide and mouth agape. Like, in shock. Like, looking genuinely like, holy fuck!
Claire's just standing with her back against the door that leads down into the basement. Call never went through, so she's like, okay, got it, bet. And she just stands there, and to her, it's weird. She just smiles. Like, hearing the screams actually kind of tickles a piece of her brain for just a second. Like, there goes that itch. It's gone. And she just looks at Doc. She goes, huh? Oh. It's fine. Everything's fine.
And he says, Clarabelle,
Yes?
I had a heart attack a week ago.
I know you did, Sweet Pea. I'm really sorry. I should have been more considerate.
Thank you. And he, without literally, it doesn't look like he blinks. He just sort of turns robotically and sort of shuffles away into another room in shock. But yeah, Azrael is outside you can see he's in the truck with Ollie, and Ollie is like shouting at him and telling him he's a fucking idiot, what's going on, etc. And you hear and let me know if you can hear this, but at the cellar door. Did you hear it, or did it not come through?
I did not hear it.
A knock. It was a faint knock at the cellar door. Or,
she just,
basement door.
To make sure no one else sees, she kind of like peeks the door open, kind of like peeking in, and she just glances at the person who knocked.
You can see third. She is not currently using the disguisiness that you normally see through.
Okay.
And she is soaked head to toe in Vitae. There are giant sliding handprints of blood down the walls. There are globules of, you're pretty sure, flesh and bone down on the stairwell underneath her, and her smile is large. So large, in fact, you can tell that not only are her canines quite sharp, but all of her teeth seem just a little bit freakishly sharp right now. She smiles at you.
Do you feel better?
Guilty as charged.
Okay. Not as a rod, but as my bestie, how do you feel?
And she looks really confused for a minute. Mm-hmm. I can do magic now!
Awesome!
Yay!
That is so cool.
And a little crackle of lightning runs across her smile.
Ooh, be careful. Be careful. Like,
Tingly.
I would assume so. Yeah. You made a mess. I'm gonna have to clean that up. You know that, right?
Tasty mess.
It is a tasty mess. I bet it is. You look so much better. You look so smiley. I like you when you smile. You're very pretty.
And she pauses and goes, "Is flirting?"
No, not flirting. Being very nice. It feels nice to
Nice
tell.
is good.
Yeah.
Nice is good.
Nice
Flirting
is
is
good.
flirting is bad. That's what doctors do. That's
You
what
know,
doctors do.
sometimes they do, and it's really creepy.
Yeah.
Like,
That's why I killed them all.
You know what? Girl, valid. Absolutely valid. Like, completely valid. But you're soaked head to toe. So, do you need a shower?
No one can see. And you can still see her, but she disappears from sight. She seems quite happy to walk around soaked in blood.
Okay. Hey, 3, bestie. Nobody might be able to see you, but you are leaving bloody footprints.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you very nicely, and as your best friend, so you don't get me in trouble, shh, secret. I need you to go upstairs and wash off a little bit, okay?
Okay. And she just sort of crawl, like that weird walking crawl through the house with the loping arms and legs, and goes upstairs, and then you hear the shower running. I will point out at this point, your house now has these giant bloody handprints and footprints all the way through. She's touched everything.
Yep. She's just looking over at, like, Doc, we don't see anything, right?
Doc is staring at you going, "This is new."
What's new? This is completely normal.
Sure. As he stares at the bloody handprint that appeared on the wall.
Do me a favor. Go drag Azrael inside. We have a lot of cleaning to do.
Okay. And he heads outside and grabs Azrael. And cleaning is undertaken. And I now need to flip back to Nathan. So, Nathan!
Yes? I's here.
You have finally eaten. A couple of hours have passed and you have a full tank of gas in your tummy.
What time is it?
It is probably about 1 a.m.
What's it, like 5 a.m. minimum?
Yeah, you've got like 4 or 5 hours, maybe.
Alright, okay, so he's gonna he's gonna take 10 minutes, pull out his own little old school notebook, because, him. He's gonna jot down a few things, like, that, they said, because he's feeling like his mind's a little all over the place. So he's focusing his attention to the details of, like, Clarabelle, further fulfilling the deals and boons that he's made with her, and then fulfilling the Zamisi boons and deals, getting everything laid out to himself. He's not putting names. Like, he doesn't put, like, Zamisi, obviously, and he doesn't put, like, Clarabelle, you know what I mean? He makes it known so he knows.
Yep.
Now, so where exactly did his wandering take him to? Because he said, like, we established he went from... I'm sorry?
So, do you mean you're wandering while you were feeding?
Yes.
All over Manhattan.
Where does he wind up? Okay. I'm trying to figure out a location where he wound up so I know, like...
Just, where are you going? That's all you need to decide. Where are you going?
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. he's gonna make his way out of towards the RV, but he's going to. I don't know what else he can possibly do after tonight.
Right. Take a stop for a second, right?
Yeah.
He specifically told
I had a
you
moment.
what to do next, right? Stop, take a breath, remember what Face said about acting on those who you will favors to, etc. Maybe start
Okay.
with that.
Yeah. So he'll probably send a text to Clarabelle, letting her know. Well, a phone call would probably be better, text. So yeah, no, he calls Clarabelle.
Okay, you call her. Okay. Diddling ding, diddling ding ding.
The way she just kind of picks it up.
Is she?
What do you want, rat?
Hello, Miss Claire. Miss Clarabelle? Yeah. I was wondering if we could meet up tomorrow night. If you're not busy.
Or
Catch up. I want to find out. Well, I want to catch up with you. I want to check in with you, let you know.
Sir, you spent the last 2 weeks asking for favors, never calling back, never nothing.
To you. I want to apologize to you and your grandfather for doing that. That was unfair of me to do so and not show back up. Did do the thing you asked me to do. Again, I didn't check in.
I didn't ask anything of you. You came in.
No, I offered to
gave
do
your
it.
word, asked for help, and never kept them. You're extremely lucky tonight. I did not mention that since that is the third rule of Iron New York. It's always to keep your word, which you did not do.
Well, I'm trying to make up, so... As I said, I want to apologize for all of that. Not how I want to carry myself going forward, especially with... I don't want to spoil any chance of...
Put it this way. You and me, bridge, never gonna motherfucking cross it. But you do owe me for each thing you never came back to collect to do. So you owe me 3 boons in total.
Oh. Okay.
You will come tomorrow because I do need help with something. I want you there no later than midnight, and if you're in there any later, I will personally go turn you back in for your broken word.
Okay, I'll be at your shop then. Midnight.
Good boy. Thank you. And she hangs up.
Wow. That could have gone worse. Really?
Yep, that is definitely an opinion.
Yeah, well, I mean, gone way worse.
Fair play. So, that night, for the remainder of the night, what does Nathan choose to do?
I suppose he could go back to his home and clean up the RV that he's probably going to sell at this point.
Okay.
Probably salvage whatever the hell that is left and not destroyed.
So, mostly the things that are broken in the RV, once you get back there, have a look, it's just the furnishings. Like, chairs have been snapped, the table is snapped at the point that it's supported, almost like 3 quite powerful Kindred, were quite vigorously active with no care for one another's physical safety in a small confined space. Your computer's relatively fine. Like, you're going to definitely need a new keyboard, and you're pretty sure the mouse shouldn't be that shape anymore. But, that's peripherals. That's easy to fix. The computer itself is fine. Your hardware, your software is all good. All the things of real substantive value. Will it cost quite a lot to get this thing fixed up and we would require people to be in it and Andrew isn't here to do that for you, yes. But it's still livable for your purposes, should you choose to. Right? You might, however, want to change parking location.
Yeah, as I said, it's probably going to end up me selling that thing and then putting Andrew in a...
The problem is
apartment.
you need somewhere to stay. You need
Yeah.
somewhere to stay while you're doing that. Now, you could afford a genuinely incredibly shitty rent, right? Like, hey, you make do, right?
$5,000.
You could like afford to live in a shitty ass apartment for maybe a month while you try. Bear in mind, you're going to try and sell quite badly internally damaged
Yeah, I'd have
fixtures and
to.
fittings, multi-million-dollar RV. So it's quite a buyer's market in that kind of thing. So you could definitely look out an apartment. There's tons of ads, but making it daylight safe, etc., is going to be tricky.
Sorry, say that one more time. The last part.
It's going to be tricky to try and find a place that you can afford to rent and make daylight safe if you want to get an apartment. Now, if you could make an intelligence plus streetwise roll for me, we can see if Nathan is smart enough to think of an alternative.
Intelligence and...
Streetwise, difficulty 6.
Three, 2 successes. 0 successes.
Yep, failed.
2 skulls.
In which case, you have to figure out for yourself. I cannot give you a storyteller suggestion.
No, yeah. Right.
So, an apartment's difficult. It's going to cost you a fair chunk of money to be able to buy a place. Unless, of course, you go and buy a basement kind of place where there's no natural sunlight ever going to go into it anyway. That kind of setup. So, is that what you are going to busy yourself that night with, is locating a place that you can maybe take residence in?
Well, it's more for Andrew than for me, but I get why I would need to take
Well,
residence
you have,
there.
if you don't have an RV to sleep in,
I
you
don't
need
have
somewhere to
anywhere to
sleep. Yes. So it's more for you than it is Andrew. Andrew could sleep on a park bench during the day if he needed to.
That's fair. I mean, that is 100% fair. Okay. We'll worry about that later on sometime and discuss it. He's gonna call the doctor's office and check on Andrew.
Andrew is doing okay. He's actually recovering quite well. He's not ready to talk to anybody yet. He's still like having to sleep loads, etc., but he is slowly recovering.
Okay. Do you want to check in on if it was Anton who answers, or pass my regards to Dr. Anton, taking care of him.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do I... As a bit of a side note, what the hell was I gonna say? I just had it on the tip of my damn tongue.
Okay. How about,
yeah.
do you want 5 minutes to gather your thoughts for a second here?
I'm just trying to think of what else I got. No. There's
Okay.
one more thing. There's one more thing, and I'm missing it. Tinkering, no. Yeah, I can't. I'm drawing a dang old blank.
Have a think for 5 minutes, and we will assume you are clearing
This
up.
is an 18+ stream. You can curse as long as it's not a fucking slur. Quit trying to correct yourself. Goddamn fuck, cunt, whore, slut, bitch. They're all acceptable. Fuck.
I'm sorry.
He's been captured by the polite police. This is him giving us a signal.
One more thing I was supposed to do. One more thing I was supposed to at least set up to do.
what Lady V said.
I have no idea what Lady V said at this point because I'm not in that chat. I'm worried what it could be.
Son of a hell.
I mean, if it's by a gimp suit, that might entirely be correct.
That
but...
might entirely be correct.
That could be a thing. Cannot speak on that. Said about punishment results. Yeah, he makes a note about the people who were upset.
I'm going to leave you to make your notes. I'm going to jump back to Clarabelle.
I don't. All right.
Give yourself 5 minutes. Have a think. We'll come back to you. Okay. So, Clarabelle.
Yes.
What happens for the rest of the night?
Well, I'm gonna make sure, 3's nice and cleaned up, and then we're gonna make sure that the house, at least all but that basement's clear out, and I'm gonna get everybody to take their stuff, like really important stuff, and we're gonna get in Ollie's truck, and we're gonna go stay the night at the shop. We're gonna have a nice sleepover. But I'm gonna keep Cadaver with me, and I'm gonna make a walk back because I do need to take a nice little walk. I promise. With Cadaver. With Cadaver, and if 3 comes, 3 can come too. We'll have a nice walk.
Okay, so rewinding slightly back to the house after Third has washed, she just starts stomping down the stairs, completely sodden, clothes in her hands, which I will remind is a big full red leather full body outfit, and she looks at you from between the huge long soaked strands of red hair and stares at you with these big towel.
Oh right, okay. And she goes up the stairs and does her best to pass 3 without touching 3, trying to be polite. She doesn't want to.
Yeah, you can squeeze past. Third sort of twists out the way and then stalks you back up the stairs. All you hear is splosh, splish, splash, splosh off her feet. There's water fucking everywhere.
She just back in the bathroom. She'll open the little closet behind the door, where the towels and shampoo and everything is, and then she'll pull out a towel and hand it. Just here you go.
And then she looks at the towel, squishes it in her hands, and goes, "Soft."
It is soft, isn't it?
And then she rubs it along your face.
she just laughs because it's wiping her makeup off, and wiping makeup off. All there is the fucking that she pulls her hair over her cheek.
Yeah.
To hide the missing makeup. She goes, "Yeah, very soft." You should use it to dry yourself off, though.
As she does so, you can see that from her mortal life, she got hurt a lot. You can see where she's had pins put in her legs and arms. It looks like a lot of serious reconstructive kind of work on her bones and muscles. And you get that flashback moment that you remember from seeing inside of her about soaring out of a window and flying, from that memory that you dove into when you stared into her eyes. It comes back to you, and it's sort of starting to make sense. But she just seems kind of weirdly aimless and lost in this moment about trying to just look after herself. She dries everywhere else, and then there's just a big sopping mop of wet hair hanging there that she's not done anything with.
It's just her. Would you like me to help you dry your hair and brush it?
She goes, okay. She looks really lost.
She goes, okay, wrap the towel around you so you're not standing here naked. And I want you to sit on the toilet. Don't use it, just sit on it. I'm gonna get the hair dryer, and we're going to. And she does. She very carefully with one of her paddle brushes, and the hair dryer will just very carefully, it's weird seeing how hurt she is for just a second. Just kind of hair feels by doing this, she feels like she's healing a little piece of herself, like she knows that lost look, and Ollie helped her by doing similar things. So she takes a moment and she'll go through, make sure it's straight using the hair dryer and the brush, and she'll keep going until her hair is completely dry and completely flat, looks nice, and she just kind of like tilts her head a little bit to look at 3. The big fucking piece of makeup's missing off of her face. She usually keeps it caked on so nobody can see it. Just like bruises and scars. There's like a burn mark where somebody like put like that back end of like an old teapot against her face, like punishment. And she just, you want me to put your hair up? Like, have you ever had it braided?
No. Never.
Do you want me to braid it?
The wheels on the bus go
Oh,
stab, stab,
stop.
stab.
Okay,
Stab,
okay.
stab,
I
stab.
won't do it then.
Stab, stab, stab. No, do. Wheels on the bus. And she actually turns and is like rocking and going, wheels on the bus go stab, stab, stab. Stab, stab, stab.
And she'll sing along with her or try her best to keep up. And she'll give her she's not the best at doing French braids, but it's a decent French braid, I would like to say, at least. It doesn't look terrible. And she just gives her like a French braid, like all the way down. That way, like all of her hair is pulled out of her face, and she just ties it off at the end with a little rubber band.
Okay.
There you go.
3 looks pretty happy, and she's finally able to slip back into her leather sort of bodysuit thing, which has easily wiped down, almost like whoever designed it for her knows she needs wipeable downable clothes. Yeah. But yeah, she easily slips back into it, and she looks clean and fresh and creepy, which is the way she looks. And you... Yeah.
There you go. Oh! I have something for you. Where's my bag? And she like looks around, she goes, I think I left it in the car. I have something for you. Have you a gift? I don't want anything in return, it's just a gift, okay? Just a gift.
Okay.
Do you want to come with me?
Okay.
Okay.
And she stands up and follows you, but you can see her again hiding herself.
Okay, good. She'll go downstairs while everybody else are supposed to be packing what's important to them, anything that they would not leave behind in a sudden rush out the door. And she goes out to the car. She goes in the back. She grabs her little bag, and from her bag she pulls the little dolly that she got from the market, the one that she thinks looks as close to 3 as possible. Goes, a dolly. And she offers it to 3. You said you used to have a dolly, and I got you a dolly.
She motions for you to put it on the back of the truck.
She puts it down.
And there's a moment where she does something quite complex physically, but one moment the dolly is on the back of the truck, and the next minute it is tied at her belt like a little mascot. But there was a moment where she flickered into reality and back out again. You can see her still because obviously, you're seeing aspects, but you know that for a very brief moment she was visible to the real world.
Oh, nice.
And she looks very happy and turns and goes, I won't kill you now. I won't kill you and keep you forever like everyone else. You don't need to stay inside me.
Explain.
And as you stare at her, you watch the black obsidian veins invade her aura, and stretch out
She's,
across her.
that's 2 of them she's seen like that. She just... Oh, whatever. The neighborhood already thinks she's crazy talking to herself. Like, they already think she's fucking crazy. She kind of leans back over and she makes sure like nothing else came out of her bag. And pulls the bag out, puts it over her shoulder. She goes, "What do you mean?"
The voices,
Mm-hmm.
they're on the inside. I like to keep them on a shelf in my head.
That's cute. Mine are strings, like webs. It makes me feel like I'm an acrobatic.
That's silly.
Right?
But she doesn't say that derisively, she just sort of giggles.
She goes, "Right? It's so when I'm in my head, it's like I can fly. You know?"
Yeah. What strings are for strangling.
They could be. Strings could also be for holding you up and keeping you connected.
Or tying you up.
Yeah, and tying you up is also an option.
And strangling!
Yes, and strangling. Ropes are best for strangling, so are strings.
Yep.
Yep. Hey, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do your strings turn black?
'Cause I ate 'em.
Does that always happen?
Yep.
So
Once
black,
you go black, you can't go back.
does it stay forever?
No.
Secret. And she puts her like finger up to her lips in this shh manner.
And 3 mirrors, but with like both hands, with the
Yep.
finger spread wide over her big grin, and goes, secret.
Good girl. It's just her like very quietly, and it's not meant to be mocking. It's just good girl. And she reaches out as if she's just poking the air and just boops right on the nose.
And 3rd almost touches you on the nose, but doesn't, because that would technically give away her position, and thus cancel her obfuscate.
No, that's
So
just
she
her.
nearly touches your nose.
Yep, she's just her. I get it.
Nearly.
Boop.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, 3.
And then you head back to the shop to have a night all scurried up. Gonna flip back. Nathan, have you figured out what you're going to do?
Shit. All right. Two things actually. I'm going to do. The one thing is, my dumbass is going to sit and Google for a brief moment different locations I can take this beast of a thing, or have it move to,
Okay.
or otherwise do.
Yep. And the second thing?
He's gonna look up driving night school. See if he can do it.
Yes. Given your previous performance of driving the RV yourself. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up how I can get about that one, because
Okay.
at least something
So
to improve
the rest of
damn
the
driving.
night is passed in research, figuring out where you can park the RV, if you can get a driving night school for the RVs to improve your skills, etc. And Clarabelle spends the rest of the night ensconcing her people into a place not covered in giant bloodstains and chunks of kindred. It would be fine. Starting to wish you'd not invested in a hyena and instead invested in a large pig.
No, because Cadaver got some food out of it, so it's fine.
Yep. However, So this is where we're going to open for a moment up to you two as players to make a decision. Okay? So, we've reached a natural point at the end of the season where what we agreed and discussed, and this is for the viewers at home as well, that we would have 1 month worth of time passing in downtime. And I think this is a good kickoff point here, a natural stopping point to be able to say a month of downtime will happen at this step. So this stepping off point is where that downtime happens, if you're both comfortable with that.
That's fine with me.
Yeah? Nathan?
Yeah. And then
Okay.
we can pick up.
Now, at the end of that month, after many things will have happened, all sorts of interesting stuff, 2 key events will occur. The first of which is Clarabelle. You get a text, having not seen Mercurio for an entire month.
Oh,
You
God.
get a text from him saying, "Sorry, I ran into some trouble." And he sends a map, like a screenshot of Google Maps of the Pine Barrens, and then 3 witch emojis.
Of the where now?
And then, what?
Where at?
The Pine Barrens.
Okay.
And 3 witch emojis. And Nathan,
Yes.
you get a phone call. Unfortunately, it happens during the day. And when you wake up and play the message, what you hear is your daughter's voice sounding like she's running from something,
Oh no.
flashing. And you hear strange, screamy voices in the background. And the only words you can make out are underground, lost, and help.
Okay.
Which is good timing because you've spent, hopefully, the month preparing to go down into the dark with your recently introduced companion, the Dr. Casimir.
The words were underground.
Lost and help. Now, here's some good news for you guys. You're both
Yeah.
getting 12 XP.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay?
Okay.
Normally, audience at home saying you've got 12 XP is met with some positive reactions. I don't know if I've traumatized my players into submission or not.
No. I'm taking notes.
Okay.
12 experience is like a fucking lot, actually. I think that matches what we already have.
Yes,
Mhm.
it is.
Oh, God.
Exactly. Yes. That's 24
So-
XP altogether. So
25.
Yes.
There's 13.
Yes.
Oh, you're right.
Maths. It is a whole thing.
So
There's
really
one more
big
there.
Preserve. Ooh.
Yep.
Let me. Okay.
Well, guess I'm gonna get to texting tomorrow. The fuck you mean? No, just kidding.
All my career gets is like 25 text messages just bitching and moaning about being beat. It's like, oh my god, Mercurio was vague in a text message? The horror. The
No,
shock.
she really would be. I'm getting real tired of your vagueness, motherfucker. 3 witch
It's true.
emojis?
He is professionally vague.
Yeah. And
Sucks.
she gets
First
it. She
time I
gets
hear
it. She
from my
gets it. now.
daughter.
She gets it.
Oh dear.
I gotta
However,
rescue
you
her.
get 12 XP. Those cliffhangers happen at the end
I love it.
of the month of downtime, and that is where we draw session 6 to a close, with Clarabelle having finally got some closure with a little lying manipulative shit Telrith,
Fuck that
who
dude.
has been abusing their relationship since
For
day dot.
55 fucking years. He has gaslit and manipulated and abused and everything else. She is just...
Yep, some nice juicy vengeance. And Nathan has finally managed to get to, shall we say, a point in his life where he's having to make serious decisions and make serious commitments and figure out what he's going to do to make amends with the people he has hurt.
Oh, wow.
So, we will see where this journey takes us. But for those who have an interest in what's going to happen next, that downtime is played on our Discord. It can go all sorts of different directions, some of which none of us have any expectation of, and sometimes the dice like to tell stories.
They're fun stories.
But we will see what happens next in our Discord, in our Downtime RP, and we will be kicking off again, and this is where I am going to look at Clarabelle and say, I'm old, it's nearly midnight, is it in 2 weeks' time?
It's in 2 weeks'
It
time.
is in 2
Yes, it's in 2 weeks'
Yeah,
time.
that's fine.
Every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks.
Yeah. I'm old.
It's every first and third Saturday of every month.
There we
I'm
go.
not much younger
So-
than you are, my dude. I'm screwed if that's
Bro,
the
I
case.
think he's got like 20 years on you.
Anyway, we will see how things go.
Almost.
I look forward to seeing people on the next stream. But thank you very much, players. We are now going to go and do a decompression session, hopefully, for 20-30 minutes, and give everybody a chance to vent or correct and everything else, and we'll sort some bits out. But thank you very much for being with us, audience. Catch you next time in Season 2, Episode 1.